Good evening, afternoon, morning, or
Andy.
Hello.
whatever it is, where you are. And Quincas, your camera is not working, it seems. Try to, I don't know, take it out of the machine and put it in again and see if it's discovered. And we also have Robbie here. So we are so far Howard Scarr, Robbie. I can't pronounce your.
Go on, try. Go on, try.
Puricelli.
Puricelli.
Puricelli. You have to make
And
the L a bit
Andy
longer.
Joyce.
Mr. Scar's got it spot on.
Puricelli.
That's it.
We.
Yeah.
No, not we. Okay. Well, welcome to the Senior Synth stream, and here we have him, Quincas. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
Mr. Bassman.
It's not the bass today, is it?
Yep, it's a 6-string.
I've become a bass man because I was at a party 3 days ago now, and I was given a Beatle bass.
Oh, Hofner.
Yeah, well, no, unfortunately it was Holly Benton. Still okay.
Yes.
Just paint over the Harley Benton thing. And just
No, I'm proud of it.
Marvin.
I have to hear how's my audio today compared to yours.
very
Sounds
good.
good here.
Sounds fine.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Because every time I find out afterwards that it's too low. So I
Sounds
hope it's
good
good
here.
today. I'm going back to my old microphone.
Your picture looks a lot clearer as well.
Thanks. I also have a lot of light. It's quite hot here. Yeah, even LED lights can heat. But I've experimented a lot with the light. As I talked to Howard about the light, we talked about the wife when she sees all the lights here, how she reacts. Have you bought new gear again? Oh yes, a little.
But it's not music. It's okay. It's not it's
Yeah,
different tech.
yeah, it is. So, let's also welcome our chatters. We have a lot of chatters, and I can't read all the names, but there's Matt and Paul, and I sing the Body Electric, and Wagoo is there, and Kosh, and Paula Tola, Tracker Jack, and is it pronounced 8 Orb? IIX Orb?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Okay.
Exorb.
Good to know. And Culture of Ghosts, and I think I'm through them. Did I mention Andy? Okay, welcome. Now it's almost New Year, 2024, and we don't want to talk about that. We've talked about it in lots of other streams. So let's talk about synthesizers. Yeah. And Quincas, have you prepared something for us? I know it's not a synthesizer you have in your hand.
I haven't prepared anything, but I certainly have a lot of synthesizers on hand.
Yeah.
It seems I will be representing Erica Synths at the Buchla event on the NAMM weekend.
Hmm?
So I'm going to travel to LA and bring along the Percons, which I have here.
Very nice.
I have been using, since the new update allows you to control the pitch of the voices via external keyboard, I've been using it to do 808 type bass sounds. So not just as a drum machine, but as a bass synth as well. It's really powerful. Let me hook it up. I have my Hydro synth as a controller for the Percons right now. Let me see. Yeah. There it is, the monster.
Mm-hmm.
So I have it connected. I think I'm going to connect it to my bass amp so you guys can really hear it because I'm using the speaker system for the stream.
Yeah. Do you need some time? Then we can.
I
I think we have enough time.
Yeah.
It'll be quick. I have the bass amp right there, and I have a cable right here. It's a nice long one. Sorry, guys. I should have prepared something. You kind of cut me off guard. Oh, what's that Hamlet here?
That's Hive being with MPE from Osmos, and I'm emulating J wires. So it goes like one after the other, so just very slowly. You can hear them come in one after the other.
Nice.
So that gave Quincas enough time to get his stuff ready.
So right now I have it assigned so that I'm sending out MIDI channel 1 out of the Hydrosynth, and that's triggering the first channel of the percons, which I'm using as a kick drum. So if I just trigger it manually, that's what it sounds like. Well, you're hearing through a bass amp through laptop speakers, but you have an idea. I have a pitch right here. There you go. It's a kick in the nuts. That's just the basic first algorithm, second mode here on the voice one of the percons. It has individual controls for each voice and individual sequencer tracks for each voice. So you never have to go into a menu for anything. And now I have the Hydrosynth as a controller. So I can play pitches on voice 1 here. So I can do the kick drum go along with the pitch of the song, right? With the like that. So I can do some hi-hats just like that. Just gonna run my fingers over the hi-hat channel. And then hit record here. I can record my movement on the knobs as well.
It's like a version of Trans Europe Express.
Exactly the same. With that little break in the hi-hats. Yeah.
I was thinking more John Farnham, you're the voice.
Effects I can send to the internal bucket brigade simulation. So yeah, I could do a 2-hour rave with just this machine and nothing else. I think I would like to someday. Maybe I'll get to do a little bit of that in LA in a month. I also will be bringing the Syntrax 2. You guys familiar with that one?
The black one, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
It's half the price as well.
I did the video manual for both these machines at the Synth DIY Guy channel, which has fused with my official artist channel. So it's now Quincas Moreira Music. It's kind of confusing. I think I've alienated a lot of my audience when I did that mistake. But
Stuff them.
shit happens sometimes. So this is this thing. And I'll set something up while somebody else has a go, maybe. But it's a beauty. I'll be bringing this to LA as well.
Wish I was going to NAMM now.
Yeah, I was missing my Synthi A, or both of them, and so I bought this one many years ago. Well, when it came out, actually. So, which is,
Oh, I've seen those.
Right at the time. But I'm very interested in the Syntrax too, I must say.
I'm a little rusty on the Syntrax myself because
The patching is a bit slow, to be honest. I tried it out on the original Syntrax, and just doing it with the XY knobs is a bit tedious. Doing it with
you can
pins
use the joystick. You can use the joystick to
joystick.
navigate the matrix.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Joystick
In fact,
and button.
You can draw with the joystick, etch a sketch style, and do a random kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There are a lot of little fun tricks with this thing. I'm rusty with it. I didn't make a cheat sheet that I have somewhere with all the little.
random is one of my pet hates. I think randomizers should be banned from all synthesizers.
Oh, I actually love it. We'll have
You
to
do?
disagree there.
Okay.
I like it even as a musical device where you change the random preset at every beat and have
Oh
that be
yeah, the random. I've got the Hydra as well, and the randomization
sample
that's
flipping.
pretty good. Yeah. Where you can put a little bit of random in there. It's quite nice.
Yes. Nothing is truly random anyway. It's all levels of chaos, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of patch editors give you smart random, where you can actually, choose what you're randomizing.
Output 1.
That's a lot better than the.
Oh, I was muted. I said I have to welcome Kent to Mr. Newbie.
No, you don't have to welcome
Okay.
him.
No.
No, Ken.
I'm just here as wallpaper, mate. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Yeah, that horrible 70s flocked stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, with the fuzz on it?
yeah. The stuff where you need a steamer to get it off.
Seeing that picture,
Oh, I'm sorry.
seeing the cutout of Hans Zimmer
oh, I
behind.
have a radio
behind
like
Ken,
that.
I would try to. I would really like some wallpaper, which is just his walls. You know, all the Moogs and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
as wallpaper.
yeah.
That
No.
would sell.
I'll tell you what. My ambition is to have a cardboard cutout of me in his studio.
Yeah. You have to bring such a picture one day, Howard, if you can.
Picture of what?
Of his studio with Kent in the background as a
Oh, right.
Pointing, going, you're doing it wrong.
model.
Well, I might visit and during NAMM, I might go and visit. So if Kent's visiting, we can take a photo and make a quick cardboard cutout and do it.
Could be great.
What do you think of that tiny size or the small cables? Does that drive you crazy?
No, with knowing what's where helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With some reading glasses, it's quite good.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't have any crosstalk problem or anything.
Because I have the Italian company, this is it Sound Machines, NS1, the little tiny synth.
Oh, that, yeah.
All those,
Yeah.
and it's really cool, but it's
That's the
kind of got
core,
to get
isn't
it
it?
just right.
And this one is the Korg.
This is made by them. It's Sound Machines,
I was thinking NT
custom
one.
made. And they
Okay.
have the
Little
They have,
bits, right? Something like that.
little bits is even easier because it's all magnet mount.
And
Just
this
snap
one,
together.
this is
But it has like a patch bay for it and all kinds. But the problem is it's not circuit protected. So if you
And it's
plug in the
one
wrong
nano
place, you can
synth.
fry it. An nanosynth, that's it. Yeah.
that's the
You
one.
could fry it very easily if you don't pay attention what volts you're plugging in, which jack, you know. So,
Yeah, the tiny sensor is of course German made, so
yeah.
you don't have that problem. I hope. Yeah, interesting.
I don't see them around much, the tiny sizers.
No, they've been out of production for a good while.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I've been okay. If there's a bit of a break, I've been trying to fill my tangerine, my 1010 music tangerine with mellotron samples
Ah.
from my little mellotron to take it as a pocket mellotron. But unfortunately, you can't switch between patches using the pads. I'll try and convince them to let you do that.
Really?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They seem to be a responsive company, 1010.
Yeah, they have been so
So,
far.
Yeah.
Been
Do you
asking questions.
Do you like the tangerine?
Yeah, so far. I mean, it's very simple, but the quality is very good. You know, you can bend a pure tone down an octave, and it's still kind of acceptable.
Okay. It looks very useful for live. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made the simplest patch in the world here in the Synthrex. Just 2 oscillators to the filter, to the VCA, to the output in effect. And then, I don't know, I can answer some questions if anybody has any about it. It's got 2 oscillators, 3 oscillators actually, the third one being mostly used as a LFO. A filter, which is state variable. You can use it as high pass, low pass, or band pass, middle. A trapezoid, Synthi-inspired envelope generator with an integrated VCA. The effects are just delay and reverb. You can choose. And I think you can record motion on the effects knob here, as well as the joystick. You can record your joystick motion as well. And channel outputs, ring modulator, random voltage generator, which is just a sample and hold that you send noise to. And yeah, it's comprehensive, very Synthi-inspired noise generator. There's an input with an envelope of follower, yeah. And the other one has a mic preamp, so you can send a mic to it. So yeah, that's the machine. I should do something more interesting with it, should I not? Well, any suggestions?
Does it have built-in spring reverb tank you can bang? You can get the
There's
effects
some
of it.
filter FM kind of vocal sounds.
FM, let's see. I can send oscillator 2 sine wave, no, oscillator 1 sine wave to the frequency of oscillator 1.
No, filter FM. To the
Filter FM, okay.
Yeah.
To the filter then. Filter frequency. Right here, oscillator 1. There we go. I'm not hearing oscillator 2 for some reason. Oh, I used 3 instead of 2. Hold on. 2 is right here. There we go.
Beautiful. It seemed to track very well, didn't it?
It does track well, yes.
Not like the Synthes.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
one of the advantages of the new one. Disadvantages as well, because the quirks of the old one are part of the
Yeah.
charm. But I can send the joystick, for example, to control the oscillator 1.
Oh, I have a question. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does it have a ring modulator?
it does.
And if so, can you use one dimension of the joystick to bow another signal by putting the joystick in one side of the ring modulator and the oscillator in the other?
Yeah, see, the ring modulator, one side of it is...
Because if it's DC blocked, you won't be able to do that. And if it isn't, you will be.
So to use it like a VCA, do you mean?
Ring modulate an oscillator in one side and the joystick signal in the other side.
Okay. Actually, signal? That's a good question. Ring modulator, treatments, control inputs, ring mod, let's think. Well, there's input A of the
Yeah,
ring assignable.
input A, you put.
Yeah, I can assign
Brilliant.
the signal to ring mod A. And then let's listen to that. So I'm gonna,
And you won't be able to hear if there's only one side.
right, and the other side I can assign here, source B, which can be the oscillator 2. Here's the level. Let's turn off the.
It doesn't matter, Quincas. I'll write it down. It's easier when I write it down.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to. Maybe it's DC blocked. It doesn't seem to be-
Are you're just using one ring modulator? Yes.
Yes.
Good. And one side is the signal, and the other side is the joystick.
Yes. One side I have the signal from oscillator 1, and the other side I have the joystick.
And that's all we can hear, the output of the ring modulator.
We were just and oh wait, I have effects here too. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's try again. So I have ring mod A joystick. Ring mod A joystick. That's there already. It's assigned. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see to line it up.
You should try it on a Synth 100, lining up.
Okay, and then on input B, I choose a source here, which could be oscillator 2, for example.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, I'm not really hearing anything.
No, you have to bow the joystick.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of using it like a VCA, right? Like a bipolar
Yeah.
VCA. And I can record that motion.
And if you can, if you slow it down a little bit, you get.
I recorded the motion of the joystick in the ring mod. And if I can throw the other oscillator in there too, that might be more interesting. Because that's the cool thing of the matrix. I can mix signals too into any output, all of them together into one input if I want to.
Sure, yeah.
So
I was thinking more of a live performance feature, not automated.
I have to interrupt. We have to talk about something we all can talk about.
yes.
Because
I'm sorry.
people are sleeping.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm boring.
No. It's interesting, but
You proved that it's not DC blocked. It's wonderful.
yeah, I think Ken hear these sounds every day when he tries to fix a synth. So
Yeah, this is work for me,
yeah, exactly.
especially on VCS3s.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
besides all the streams, how has your week been, Kent?
Relatively quiet. Apart from various things that dogs have got up to. So yeah, everything else has been sort of like pretty quiet. I'm not back at work for another few days yet. So that's when all hell breaks loose.
I think I hear your dog complaining.
Like he wants a sausage.
Yeah, it's Robbie's mate. What's up, Noah? Noah? Oh, he's deaf, isn't he? Noah. He's looking around like this. Yeah, he's I don't know what the hell he wants. Nobody ever knows what he wants. Yeah, I'm still setting up studio, getting things to talk to each other in a usable way. So we get somewhere. It's just that I keep doing shows instead of doing the work. So which just goes to show how enthusiastic I am about getting it finished. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, it's been quiet. Yeah, nice couple of weeks off.
David, how's your week been?
Oh, it's good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. I'm sitting on the floor because I'm waiting for my new desk to show up, which just arrived about 5 minutes before the show. And I was like, oh, I'll just bring it downstairs real quick. And it weighs about 40 or 50 pounds. And it's beyond 88 keys wide. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that all set up. I took a little break from doing any music the last week. But I bought some gear. Everybody loves gear. So let's look at some cool gear. I got this.
Hey.
This thing is crazy cool. Luckily, they were running. I don't usually take Chase Bliss that seriously.
What is it, David?
It's a Chase Bliss Maris reverb. It's a It's a Lexicon 4041 kind of model.
Yeah, there's a beautiful 244 reproduction.
Yeah, so they had a B stock and knocked off quite a bit off the normal price. So kind of like getting a nice rack unit. So but in a desktop. So
all you need is the CS80 to go with it now.
Thanks for selling one.
I guess I'll just get the Super Jet, right?
There you
That's close enough, mate. I tell you.
Isn't that what we decided yesterday? On
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think I think that's established now.
Well, you guys finally made a decision then on that show.
Manny.
I had to bail. Hey,
No, yeah.
You mean you didn't watch it on catch up? I'm disappointed in you, sir.
if you had to do my day job end of year,
Ooh.
trust me.
No. I wouldn't want to do your day job, period.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
no, thank you. Hey, Manny.
Hey, David, how are you? Greetings, everybody.
All right, babe.
That's a good segue into Manny.
Segue what? I just got here.
Yeah, that's the segue.
That's the segue. Oh, all right.
That was it.
So how's your week been, man?
No, my week's been very interesting. That's a vague way to say it's crazy as usual. It's always interesting to see what happens with things pre-NAMM.
Uh-huh.
So, having fun with some stuff like that.
Cryptic.
Mm-hmm.
That was
We can
quick.
only speculate.
Speculate. That's right.
Yeah.
He told us he'd have to kill us. So let's.
Yes, exactly. Howard knows all about all that kind of stuff.
Have your cyanide pills ready too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least strategically placed towels.
Okay, Robbie, how's your week been?
Oh, it's that typical in between Christmas and New Year's week where you're not sure what day it is, you're not sure what you're doing, but I've had time. I finished my day job Thursday last week, and so it's just kind of been a blur. Not doing an awful lot, sleeping mostly, and doing stuff on here. And so it's just thinking about what we're going to do next year. I've got to move a lot of this stuff around because I've got workmen coming in to fix a radiator, so I've got to move the DX1 and the Fairlight, which would be the two biggest things in the room.
The DX1 isn't the radiator?
Well, quite exactly. I've almost told them not to bother doing it, but so I've got to move all of this stuff into the middle of the room. What's in the middle of the room, which is the KX and the Polybrute and the Mask One, and that's all got to go somewhere. I don't know where. And then I've got to get another Fairlight ready to go. So I'll be swapping my Series 2 out of here and then bringing the Series 3 in here to make sure that's ready. And then it's like all of a sudden I'm thinking it's Synth East in February. And I haven't done a thing about doing. We've got a stand at Synth East. I have no idea what we're doing. And then it'll be, another show and another show, and then it'll be Synth Fest, and then we'll be here again. It'll all be over in such a flash. But, I've got some new gear coming next week.
What you
That'll
got?
be interesting. I can say, yeah, I can say. I've got the new ELZ1 Play from Sonicware. That's arriving. At the moment, it's on schedule to arrive on Wednesday. It's one of the
There's a sampler.
first. No, it's so Sonicware. Their first instrument was this thing called the ELZ1, which was a multi-synthesis engine unit. It's an odd-looking thing. I mean, some people have compare it to the Teenage Engineering OP1 in that it's this kind of self-contained synthesizer and sequencer and looper and all of this kind of stuff.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
But it's a lot cheaper. It's a little bigger, but it has built-in speakers if you want, but you can plug it into various things.
And a 3-octave keyboard.
Yeah, and you've got that little keyboard, but you can MIDI anything up to it. And I missed out on those. They made them and they stopped, and I didn't get one. And then it was earlier this year. I think it was I can't remember when it was. The guy that owns Sonicware or runs it, Dr. Endo, he said, "I'm going to redo it, and because we can't make the original again because the components are no longer available, so we're going to redo it and make it a little bigger and better." And that's starting. Yeah, so they did a whole kind of Kickstarter thing, and they instantly met their targets. And the first units will be shipping to customers towards the end of January, but I'm very lucky that I have quite a good relationship with Sonicware, so they're sending me mine, like one of the first batch. So looking forward to that, because that's some of the demos I've seen of the engines that they've been doing. Physical modeling engines, and there's digital stuff in there and virtual analog, and
like the Micro Freak, and
yeah, sort of, yeah, but with a nice little kind of color LCD screen that gives you plenty of feedback, and it just looks and sounds really, really good. So I'm very excited about that. And then there's some new things that I've got to announce on January 1st, actually. Which I can't talk about, but that'll be a very interesting one. So yeah, it's just carry. Yeah, it's just business as usual. It's it's not New Year. It's just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow.
Just tomorrow.
Yeah. Andy, how's your week been?
Oh, pretty basic. I'm gearing up for NAMM, though. Looking forward to the second annual Spong Pub NAMM extravaganza.
Cool.
Woo!
Yeah.
What day you
Buffet
planning on that?
crampon.
Yeah, buffet crampon, lots of carpet. You guys know the routine.
Yep,
So it'll
absolutely.
be fun. So luckily I was
I'll
able
be
to
there.
24
I
hours.
saved some money so I can go.
Oh.
It was dodgy for a while, but now I can go. So looking forward to that. And
Good.
just the usual stuff otherwise. I'm also looking forward to the ELZ1 Play. I guess I get mine the week after yours, Robbie, or maybe later.
Well, yeah, I think they said they're shipping the first batch towards the end of January. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
And which is fine because I don't have time to play it anyway. And also, Henrik, you might enjoy this. I was at the Solvang, the Danish town in California recently on a trip, and I went to the liquor store there. I said, hey, I want to try a nice Danish liqueur, just a sample bottle of it. So he gives me some little cherry liqueur that's pretty interesting. Then while I'm trying it, I read the back, and it says in very small print, it's made in Sweden. It's not Danish. It's good though, but I don't know. Maybe you can recommend a Danish thing I could try because I want to check something out.
Just some snaps from Aalborg.
Schnapps, okay.
Is made in Sweden like made in China is to us to Danish people.
Yeah, basically. But do you have something similar to this hearing in Denmark?
Yeah, we have a gammeldansk, Old Dane.
Okay, I'll look for that.
I think it's made the same place as the snaps from Aalborg.
Okay, send me a link when you get a
Aalborg
chance.
is a
'cause
city.
I'll mess up the spelling. So.
Aalborg is a city where they have some big liquor factories called Aalborg.
Nice.
So they make a lot of. They also made the first potato chips in Denmark because they were a waste product for making the liquor.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Recycling.
Yeah.
I also got this fun little tour boxing finally for some video and
Oh, that, yeah.
Photoshop stuff. This is the wireless version, so it's Bluetooth as well as wired if you want.
That's so
Very
cool.
solid, and it's haptic as well. So when you move all the stuff, it goes, which is really
Looks
fun.
like something you could eat.
It looks
Yeah,
like
it's just-
made out of clay.
It's very, very solid. So I'm looking forward to using that. Fun stuff.
We lost Manny. He will probably.
His towel
return.
probably fell off. They had to turn off the camera.
So, well, we never asked Quincas, how's your week been?
My week, busy. I have a crazy commission for 240 30-second songs in 4 months. So I have a regimen of doing 3 a day. So, and meanwhile, my mom came up from Brazil. I'm originally from Brazil, and I live in Mexico. So my mom came up, and my son, who lives in California, 24 years old, came down too. So I'm hosting family and trying to get 3 songs done a day. So it's a little crazy, but it's fun. It's fun work. So now, did I mention I got a new bass for Christmas?
How many strings?
It's a 6-string.
5,
It's a
6.
It's a Carvin from 2012. It's not brand new, but it's a beautiful instrument. I had a Carvin 6-string when I was in high school in the 90s, so it's kind of a nostalgic purchase for me. Even though this is a different model, this one's longer scale, but it's a beautiful instrument. I've gotten back into practicing.
Low E and low B and high C. Yeah.
Yes, I have it standard tune, so it's all fourths. So all the logic of the fingerboard is exactly the same as it would be on the 4th string. Just you have extended range, and it's not even. A lot of people think about it as, oh, you can go lower. Yeah, sure, you can go lower, but it's more about being able to play more in one single position without having to go like up and down the neck so much. I can reach higher notes and lower notes in the same vertical position, so you can play more complex things more easily. And yeah, it just sounds great. I've been using it for pretty much all of my songs for the job. I get a precision bass sound out of it, or a jazz bass sound out of it, or whatever I need, just based on like pickups, pedals, and technique. It's a nice exercise, but that has nothing to do with synthesizers.
I actually invited another bassist last time you were on.
You mean there's 2?
But I never heard from him, so I would have
He was
loved
missed.
him to.
Paul
play
McCartney
against
was
you.
busy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have a
he's
fretless
always busy.
that I got recently, and I was thinking about something music technology related with the fretless bass, because usually a fretless will have some kind of marking. It's not visible on the fretboard. At least it'll be on the top here, so the player can see. Because like an upright, you can tell where you are based on the thickness of the neck and how close you are to the body, so you find your positions more naturally. On a long electric bass, yeah, nice Hofner clone. On an electric bass, the neck all feels the same, so you really do need a visual aid just to approximate, and then you use your ears to actually tune. But I've been involved with microtonal music for a long time in the Zen harmonic groups and Facebook and things like that, where people discuss different tuning systems, whether they be different divisions of the octave in different numbers, or based off of natural harmonics, natural curling.
Have you tried those microtonal guitars with the weird frets that look like
Yeah,
they're just
so
blown?
that's what I have a friend who makes those guitars. His name is Ron
Yeah.
Sorber. And he makes pretty much every day all he does is refret guitars for microtonal guitarists. And I told him, hey man, wouldn't it be cool to have a bass that's a fretless bass? So the fretless already you can play any tuning. It just depends on your technique and ears, right? Because they're all available. There's no frets. What if you had an OLED screen underneath a plexiglass fingerboard, where you could send different fret lines, markings for different tuning systems?
Wouldn't it be easier to just have a quantizer for each string?
No,
Yeah.
but the
Pitch the voltage.
the idea is to use your own acoustic sound.
Well,
you have-
maybe
you're not
technology's
using
far enough so that you could actually do that. With audio, pitch the audio.
No, it would just be the normal audio from the guitar.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But the line is just your guide to achieve that particular note. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's a clever idea. It's like a microtonal fretlight guitar.
Yeah. Good idea.
I saw a video yesterday about a wheel like a guitar arm where there were both bass strings and normal strings on, and he could roll it and play it. It was difficult to play, but he could roll it. I will try to find the link. It was quite interesting. It was an old story where Beatles were presented with the idea of building such a thing, but it never worked right. Have any of you seen this video? I'm
That kind
speaking
of
of?
rings a bell with me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to find the link.
This is going back maybe 10 years. I remember something.
Yeah, probably.
I was just
It's
thinking.
not something you build in a day, of course.
What with Quincas's idea of the LCD frets, you could actually have a fretted instrument where it automatically does Hermo tuning on any chord you play. I mean, we've got the technology these days to do that kind of thing. So you wouldn't need any. You wouldn't even need
Auto-tune, right?
Huh?
Like an auto tune.
auto tune. Yeah.
So you'd auto tune the fretless bass. Yeah, I couldn't already do that in production.
Auto tune a fretted bass.
Well, but the fretted limits you though, because it's already separated into a division of 12. Smaller
Yeah,
notes.
the idea was so that you could get each chord in tune exactly like a classical orchestra would be in tune by adjusting to each other.
But that's just one of many, many possibilities in macrotonal music, because there's divisions of the octave into smaller bigger numbers. For example, 30 is a popular one. So you have 30 notes instead of 12 per octave. So you have smaller ones. You couldn't achieve that on a fretted instrument.
I have played around with that. Wendy Collis was into doing some special tuning stuff, and they got me into trying these different ET. Forgotten.
Yeah, she was posting tables on her site about Kurzweil synths and stuff.
Yeah,
Tunings for Kurzweil.
I can't remember where I got the information from, but then I tried out these different equal temperament things with 30 ET and whatever. And after a while, you think it's arbitrary. You might as well play an out-of-tune synthesizer.
But now there are a lot of things that support Scala. You can use those Scala things and import them.
Oh, look at that guy.
Oh, yeah. I saw this.
Ah,
This is-
that thing. No, that's not what I was thinking of, but that's very interesting.
Oh, it's like a sitar. It's rounded like a sitar.
It's
it
rotatable.
spins.
It's,
It
been-
rotates.
it's ridiculous. It sounds horrible.
Sounds horrible, yeah?
Oh, wow.
This bass and guitar all on there.
A bit wild.
This guy needs to meet the Lumitar guy from last year's NAMM.
About having a challenge and being able to pull it off.
So, Quincas, have you tried that microtonal pad controller with the hexagonal keys?
I haven't tried that one, no, but
It's MPE as well. It's really clever, but it's like $5,000 or more, so it's a lot of money.
those are expensive. I usually use for microtonal stuff. I have an instrument, and I have the Senso Morph, so I can use the Buchla Thunder.
Yeah, Morph is cool. Yeah,
I have my little Thunder.
I got that too.
Mouse
Use that
pad.
with the Arturia thing, and you got a nice little Buchla setup.
That's a booklet original, is it, that layout?
Yeah, well, it's they licensed it to Sensel, which
Yeah,
no
special.
longer makes the morph. So I'm a lucky owner of one of a finite number of morphs in the world.
Yeah, they stopped making them.
Yeah,
It
unfortunately.
stops the morph. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Sensel. I think they make touchpads for Dell or something like that, like large computer. So this was a very small side venture for them that turned out not to be.
Well, the music was actually a second thought. It was mainly meant for graphics and painting, because you could put a camel hair brush on it, and it's so sensitive you could see the bristles going across with variation. It was amazing.
I love it. I have a lot of videos I made using this thing with an FH2, controlling completely different parameters of a complex modular patch with every single gesture, like sideways, up and down, pressure. And oh man, it's crazy because you have your entire modular on the tips of your fingers, like it's like you have a million hands turning knobs everywhere. It's crazy.
That was his compromise for not putting a keyboard on the original stuff.
But microtonal music used to be easier to make with synthesizers in like the 80s and 90s because of the systems of the digital synths from back then. Nowadays, they don't have the same capabilities anymore. It was part of the spec to be able to receive a system-exclusive dump that changes the tuning of the keyboard. You can do that with an SY77, for example, Yamaha. A whole bunch of keyboards from that era. Like the Zen Harmonic people, they all mention that. They're like, how come none of the modern keyboards allow you to do this? Because there's a software that's very popular with microtonalists called Scala.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have a Scala archive, which is over 4,000 different tuning systems. And you can instantly dump it into a keyboard, and that keyboard will respond, within the limitation of having,
a lot of keyboards accept that now, which is cool.
Yeah, one of the cool things that Yamaha did in the DX7 is every MIDI note is tunable over a 10-octave range.
There you go. I think that's what it does.
And those, you can save those in the 7.2 and then import them into the SYs and later, and even into some of their later gear. Unfortunately, you can't do any editing there. So you have to create them on something else. It's sort of a pain, but it's really nice because you could set up keyboards that were equal tempered for an octave, and then a microtonal scale for a period of time, and you do really weird stuff with them because you weren't even tied to anything. Every note was individually tunable.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's how it should be, man. Why do we have to be stuck in 12 tone equal temperament for everything forever?
Quincas, have you tried one of those H-Pi controllers? The really old microtonal controllers?
No, I know the guy Andrew.
It looks like Lego pieces of different sizes. They're really weird vertical keys.
Yeah, those are all really
H-Pi.
interesting. Those are all really interesting. But
H-Pi did that minuscule synthesizer, didn't they?
They also make the one that's in a plug, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. It always sells out. Every time they do a batch, it sells out. So.
I have the module Micro Tune. It's an amazing module by Tubutek. I don't know if you guys know that brand. He actually makes like conversion kits for older synthesizers like Junos and stuff. But his few modules that he has, one of them is called a Micro Tune. It's got MIDI input, MIDI output, USB input, USB output, CV inputs, CV outputs, expanders. So you can really kind of build the system you want to convert anything to any scale. And in the memory, you have the entire Scala archive with the titles. So you can go through sub-menus in the little screen and find exactly the scale that you want for the microtonal system that you want. You can apply CV to it. You can control the roots with MIDI. It's unbelievable. It's so deep, that thing.
H-Pi also makes a module and a software for DAW people to do the same kind of thing.
I have that software. Yeah, I used it.
Yeah.
Turbotech they're another Berlin company. We got one of those guys doing our hardware.
Yeah.
I'd like to change the subject. We are approaching a new year, and we have talked a little bit about NAMM, and I would like to know, what are your plans next year? Where will you go? Which events will you visit? Who should we start with?
I'll start.
Okay, Manny?
Well, I'll be at NAMM, and so I'll be there through most of the weekend. Hope to hook up with everybody who's coming to town. Probably follow Andy around on his floor tour, so we can make sure that there's no crowders in trying to get in the stream.
Plenty of carpet,
And then I am planning to be at Super Booth in May. And I was trying to figure out if I could throw another Synth Fest in there, but unfortunately I will probably be in Tokyo that weekend. So,
Oh, you poor thing.
So a lot of synthesizer related stuff for me next year. I got some really fun projects on the agenda as well that all shall become clear in the future.
Is it the new Modi I? Modi Y?
I don't kiss and tell until the baby's walking.
Would also be a bad name, Modi Y.
Modi D.
They just call it Arnold, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was thinking about that because they did the montage and then they did the Modi X, so the MO from the montage and the DX for the FM connection. So if they were to do the same with the ANX engine, would it be the Moan?
I don't know. You know, there's stories behind the whole MODX, MODX moniker on that derivative because, you know, I always called it the MODX or the MODX. I never called it what they call it. And then somehow, somewhere, somebody said, well, no, we're going to call it the MODX because it's so much Mo than a DX.
Mo, as in Mo Pat. Yeah.
MODX. There should be a little apostrophe in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be at I'll get over quickly. I'll be at NAM and Superbooth, and that's probably all I'll be at. We'll see you guys there.
Very good.
Yeah.
We'll
I'll
get a drink.
definitely at Superbooth
Yes.
too.
Drinks on Howard.
For the first time.
As a-
So I look forward to that.
Where are you going, sorry?
I will be at Superbooth too.
Oh, excellent.
It's
Fantastic. So,
Yeah, we're going to hang out at Superbooth. Yeah.
so Robbie, you guys are doing an Airbnb there? Is it we're going to crash at your place for parties?
Well, I was looking at an Airbnb, and then I was looking at hotels, and I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to be booking it in the next few weeks. So yeah, it might be an idea. I'm just trying to find somewhere that's not too close to the venue, because of the way that Berlin's laid out. It's easier to just jump on an S-Bahn, and you've got this S-Bahn that goes in a straight line, pretty much from Mitte all the way down to Fez. So you can pick a hotel or an Airbnb somewhere along there, and you just walk out of your hotel and jump on, and away you go. So I'm looking. I've got a list of favorited things at the moment, and I'm just going to try and find the one that gives me the best deal. I'd also like, if you see, I'm lazy, and so I'd like to have a hotel make my breakfast for me, rather than an Airbnb where I've either got to go somewhere or make
Just
my
remember,
own.
Pop-Tarts, they're international.
Yeah. And currywurst for breakfast is not bad. So yeah, that's not bad.
They don't make Pop Tarts like they used to. Now
No.
they always have frosting.
Yeah.
It's always super sweet. Before they used to only have the filling.
The plain ones, yep.
Yeah. Putty cat. But no, I'll be at Synth East in Norwich.
Since East.
Synth East, which is Robin Vincent's show. I was supposed to be there last year, but unfortunately my landlord decided he didn't want me in his house anymore, so that kind of put paid to that and crashed the party. So yeah, I'll be that in February, and then what's after that? I think you've got Gearfest in the middle of the year, which is down at Tile Yard in London, and then around the same time there's Synthesized in Cambridge at the Centre for Computing History, which is a brilliant little event. It's small, compact, but there's lots of synth nerdery going on, computer stuff. And then of course there'll be Superbooth in May, of course, and Synthfest UK in October. And I think that's it so far, unless anybody wants to pay for me to go to LA in a few weeks' time. I'm more than happy to take some time off. No. Okay.
What about you, Kent?
Me, nowhere,
Yeah.
ever,
Nowhere.
Get out.
ever. I may have a brief respite where I spend some time under a Mustang in the driveway, but that'd be about it. That's about as adventurous as I'm getting.
We want to get one of I don't know what they're called, but they're those little. They're like it's an iPad on a like a two-wheel thing.
Just goes.
And
around.
I want to get one of those and take it with me to Super Booth, and then Kent can sit at home and he can experience as this thing comes around walking with me.
Funny that I was just watching yesterday, Red Dwarf,
Yes.
Queeg, where Ollie is doing exactly that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody made it, and
Let's put a raincoat on it and a little trilby hat.
a little trilby hat and a little cigarette pointing out the corner of the iPad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. That would be fun.
Andy, where will you go?
Oh, upcoming? As we were talking about NAMM for sure. That's the highlight of my.
Is there going to be a Synthplex next year?
I just wish I had one this
They
year.
haven't said anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why they didn't, but I wish they had one this year because Synthplex was amazing.
Excuse me, I've got to throw this cat down.
The people I got to talk to, I was mad I didn't get to meet the Alan Howard who was walking around there, because he's an amazing guy. But there's so many just random people there that you're like, oh, that guy's here, that guy's here. Or we got to see Chiani do a live performance with Quad. It was just unbelievable.
What about
Find the sweet
Nobcon?
spot? You go to the right part of the room.
That's a good question. Nobcon. It's first weekend of September. September's a tough month for me anyway, but it's great. If you guys haven't been to a Nobcon,
I'd love to go.
They do a really good job. It's so it's like pub with more pot.
John puts on a good show for sure. He's a nice
It's
guy.
almost camp. I love it. I love Knob.
Yeah,
When I go, I play Hammond organ.
very nice.
It's like an interesting music.
Those live music nights at NobCon are really good.
Yeah, they're
Matt
cool.
Baxley playing stuff. And just,
Oh,
amazing.
he plays everything too damn well.
He's really good.
It's very annoying.
Love jamming with him.
Yeah, he's great.
What was that? Are you talking about something?
NobCon in Chicagoland area that Suit Tie guy
He
puts on.
plays too well.
Oh, Matt Baxley. He goes by the name of Booksley.
Booksley.
Yeah,
Great.
he's phenomenal. He plays everything. He's fantastic.
He was playing a pro soloist one night, and it's the first time I heard it and knew it was a pro soloist just because it was a certain sound, and he just made it sing. It's just amazing. Very nice. But they even had a drummer that was good. It said one of Suit and Tie Guy's tech friends, or whatever, is also a drummer.
I mean, Bubba.
No, it wasn't
Bubba was
Bubba.
doing
Wasn't
the video
Bubba, no?
stuff in the back.
Yeah, it wasn't Bubba.
He was some other guy, and he was an amazing drummer. So Baxley and the drummer were just doing this crazy two-person jam. Amazing.
Too good.
That was me with him 2 years ago. Last year I didn't go. Well, this year I didn't go.
It's cool. Good stuff.
This year I might go. Going to NAMM for the first time. Going to be at that Bukla event too, which is during the NAMM weekend, but at a different place, and it's free. So
What's the deal with that? I'd barely heard about that. What is that?
Yeah, Bukla is putting together this event, just to show, it's like a synth show, like a little sub NAMM for synths only, and they invited a lot of the makers, and Erica Synths asked me to go. Gears can't make it, and then here I have their gear. I do all their video matches and stuff. So I'm gonna be there. I might as well go to NAMM too. So I bought that.
Just at the same time or just before?
It's just, I think it's in one night, but
One night,
NAMM
okay.
will already be going on. I think it's the Friday.
I'd look that up.
I have to
Sounds
look
good.
it up to be sure. I should.
I love Google stuff.
I'm Googling now.
Yeah,
Cool.
do it. And so there's a lot of manufacturers are going to be showing there, and they realized that the NAMM isn't great for synths, but since the weekend, there's so many people already in town.
Yeah.
That is a good idea to put it. I think Behringer did that last year. They did like a separate show, and it was great.
They did that before COVID. They had an offsite
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, because they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because Matt played at that, didn't he?
Trend.
was-
So
it
yeah,
was-
Bukla is sponsoring the event, so they're going to have more of a flagship.
Here we go. January 27th. Buchla and Friends Synthmaker Showcase, downtown LA. Eventbrite.
That's the one. So I'll be
At
there.
the Arts District Community Center, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Cool. So it's on
That's
Eventbrite.
good. Yeah, I got to meet Don. My first NAMM was 2009. Barely able to squeeze in. Now it's easy to get in a NAMM, but back then it was a nightmare to get in there if you're not really a true industry professional or connected or whatever. And it's just fun. I went to his booth. He was very unassuming, super nice guy. No one was there. Like, no one, they get a lot more attention these days, it seems, than they did back then. And but super nice guy, and finally got a chance to touch the 200E, and pretty interesting guy.
I had a similar experience with Bob Moog when he was with
Oh yeah.
Big Briar. Nobody at the stand I could just chat with him. Yeah.
But then his son Ezra did a demo at Noisebug in Pomona. And I literally drove all the way down there straight after work one time just to go watch his son do a demo on the 200E, and it was phenomenal. There's a video of it online still, multiple parts by VJ Franz K, who does a lot of videos. And just the sound coming out of the thing. It was just, even over YouTube, you can just go, whoa. It's just,
200E.
There's something about a Buchla, man.
Yeah,
I remember I built my first DIY synth. Yeah, it was a Music from Outer Space Mini Synth Mark II that just sounded unbelievable to me here in my studio. And I was like, I can't wait to go jam with my friend who's got an easel. And I turned that thing on next to the easel, and it was just like immediate reality check. I mean, it was a great synth. I still have my Mark II. But
I'm sure
it's
that
about the Buchla that just like punches more than.
I'm sure the 200E is a fantastic instrument, but I just could not get my head around it. I had one in my
it's a wild
programming room for weeks on end, and I just got dragged away by a CS80 that was kind of next to it.
Yeah. I was very fortunate. Our college, our university music department had a full-blown electronic music studio with a 200E system and easel, and I loved that thing. Although my instructor almost banned me because I brought in a Pro 1 to interface with it.
What was it?
That's not the way you do it.
No.
But no, I would. Oh man, I mean that's one of my dream things. If I could have a full-blown 2500 or like my college university's fully loaded 200 system back in the studio, that would be just like so cool.
Yeah.
What college was this?
This was a little, well, I won't say little, it's actually very large. It's UC Davis. It's part of the UC chain. It's in outside of Sacramento, which means it's a stone's throw from Berkeley, and that's how we had the system. There happened to have been a guy in the department there who went through UC Berkeley and was a Don disciple, and he managed to convince the music department to purchase this thing because Davis is basically an agricultural college.
Vet school and agriculture.
Vet and ag. But we had a phenomenal electronic music department there.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever go to the Tape Center in San Francisco?
No, did not.
Those guys had a lot of their hangouts there and stuff.
I think money is frozen.
Say that again?
No, your video's
Your
frozen.
video is frozen, money.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're back now.
Yeah, there.
So good times. Good times when you have that
UC Santa
access.
Cruz had a surprisingly good electronic department. I just discovered by accident when I was there, and the guy built an entire custom modular wall
Oh wow.
just by himself. And then years later, I was working at the zoo, City Palo Alto, part time, and his wife says, "Hey, you should come by. You're into music. You should come by and check out my husband's setup." I didn't know it was the same guy. So we get over to his house, and his home has the same wall. He has a whole room of just that at home. It's just like he had at Santa Cruz. Guy was hardcore. Yeah.
Getting back to the Buchla event, it's about 30 minutes from Anaheim. It's actually between Anaheim and downtown LA. But it looks like it's all day on Saturday.
Closer to downtown.
You
Yeah.
need that time for the traffic, right? So-
But it is free. I've registered. So Andy, get on it.
Oh, well, thanks.
Let's get some-
Can you put the link in the private chat, Manny? Can you?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
I'll be happy to see you all there. And I'm probably going to NAMM to pick out a 6-string fretless bass for myself on one of the fancy luthiers.
Have you ever heard a fretless bass sample that you liked? Since you're into fretless bass.
I mean, I've heard some that but the thing with the fretless bass is the articulation.
Right.
It's how you why it with the tip of your finger, how you vibrato, how you slide to the next note. That I mean, so it's kind of pointless to use a sample unless you can use it with a little instrument or some kind of MP where you can mimic that kind of
Yeah, the Roley's quite good.
articulation. Because otherwise, it's not just the sound; it's really a whole way of playing.
Yeah, because most of the fretless bass patches are like boom, 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 kind of a boom sound.
Yeah, they just do the wah. They just do the wah
Yeah.
part, but they can't do the sliding, the vibrato, this.
Yeah.
And even the wah you control by how close you are to the pickup, between the bridge and the neck, and what part of your finger you use to pluck. If a softer part of it or more like the tip, you get a harder sound. So there's so much nuance and variation. It's just better to learn to play the instrument.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, guitar is never has the same soul as a real guitar.
But the instrument for me has been a breakthrough because I always had the philosophy of like never use like MIDI fake instruments. Use MIDI for synthesizers, for cool things. But because it never convinced me like back in the day. But this thing with like the Quam, for example, the instruments by Audio Modeling in Italy, their trumpet. God damn it! I've done some of my production work here where you swear to God it's a trumpet and it's me on the instrument playing in Italian software.
I've got a VL7 for that.
And the cello is unbelievable. With the instrument you can do vibrato and crescendo and glissandi and very natural articulation. So you can really. It's getting to a point where I feel like I can do convincing performances with simulated instruments. But it's physical modeling, not sampling, and MPE expressive controllers, not like keyboard over simple MIDI.
Yeah, I played around with the. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I played around with the instrument for a while, and I don't like kind of tactile surfaces. I don't like playing on iPad, iPhone.
Yeah,
Any of those. I know the feeling of the instrument, and I don't like the feeling personally.
Mm-hmm.
I find it difficult.
Since I'm a bass player, the way I have the instrument set up is in fourths, just like bass strings. So that for me, immediately I see a giant fingerboard and I know where to go. It's very intuitive for me to play it.
Sure.
The first time I met Roger at the Synthplex, and he showed
No, I don't have any problem with hitting the notes or anything. It's just the general feel of it.
The stiff pads, right?
Yeah,
Well, they're pads with little ridges in between them.
it's
And
I
it's those
use
little
it
ridges
for
between-
music production. I was in the music, the iPad musician group, and kind of an iPad power user, beta tester for Moog and stuff. For theirs, I use an iPad a lot for music. Not so much anymore. I kind of let that go a little bit. But yeah, I definitely feel like the instrument is much more tactile responsive. It feels more like an instrument. I think maybe if you had a little bit more time with it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about guitar playing, that Jan Hammer was always really good on the guitar, very expressive. And when he played guitar, you almost couldn't tell sometimes. It was pretty good.
That's true. No, I've seen some guys like at synth shows that specialize in demoing guitar software. Some of those guys are amazing. They really mastered the art of using a keyboard.
Marco Parisi on the Rolly Seaboard.
Yeah, Mike.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
exactly. Parisi. Parisi, monster.
His
That
little
guy-
wing demo was unbelievable. Just
Yeah, I saw some other guy that I don't remember.
He goes by Guitar Rob or something like that, right?
I think that's the guy.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
He really
That
is.
guy, I swear to God, you close your eyes, you're listening to Eddie Van Halen or something.
Yeah.
And
And it's really ingenious how he uses the mapping software and the left hand and the right hand stuff together, and it's
pitch harmonics, all of a sudden, dive bombs, everything.
yeah. But yeah, if you close your eyes, I wouldn't be able to tell. You know.
Just like
Can
that.
you chat a link to him, or just the name, so I don't forget?
Rob,
Sure.
is that?
I think it's Guitar Rob. I'd have to look it up, but it's something like that.
I hung out with him for a while, like asking him how you do that stuff.
It's-
Like I
found a
actually
link to Eruption by Joyfire. Is that him?
Probably.
The one
Let me
called
look.
Joyfire. Let me see.
I'm looking.
Robert Lamb.
sounds like maybe he's covering.
Yeah, I think this is him. No, this is not him. This is not him. The Joyfire one is not him.
Very impressive. That dude.
Yeah, he was at Synthplex
But it was
last year.
funny with me with the instruments. I could immediately play it. Like as soon as Roger put it in front of me with the cello loaded up, I just put my hands over it and I was playing like fucking Yo-Yo Ma, man. I couldn't blow.
Oh, you're not my favorite cellist.
Well, I wasn't your favorite cellist, I'm sure either. Not the first time I touched the instrument. But what I mean is like, all this, I was doing vibrato and glissandi and stuff like naturally just because of my bass technique. And I was like, I have to have this. I have to own this instrument. I bought it immediately. I had it signed by Roger.
No, it's all right. I take it back. There isn't a decent fretless bass for the Rolly.
There
I thought
isn't.
there was. No, well, not in Equator.
With a Rolly, I'm sure you could program one because you can do like the wah on the pressure, and you can do vibrato and glissandi with just sliding.
Yeah.
I think for FM, yeah. You can do it on a Yamaha.
And you guys ever play the Eigenharp? It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I tried that.
No.
Yeah.
Too.
I have the
And
Pico, but I tried the real one at NAMM when it released. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, the sound designers were just too. They give you the motion, the XY motion was just too wild.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to tame it.
That's usually the case with new technologies. You go a little over.
Take overboard. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It takes a while to kind of tame it.
Plus, it was all sound font based, right? So it's kind of stiff.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, there always
You had
were
to
the
use a computer.
extremes.
Yeah, you couldn't use it with anything else but a computer. So
No.
Somebody's very noisy. Who is it?
Noisy?
Yeah, is it me?
What kind of noise?
Oh, it's my fan. My one and only fan. Yeah.
Oh, you have a fan.
Yeah, well,
That
my-
site only fans?
My old
Yeah.
Mac got an Intel and it gets hot.
We want a web link now, Howard.
Sorry?
We want a web link to your OnlyFans.
We're all just
Yeah, we want to check that out.
No, I've got to
Yeah.
gotta cool it down somehow.
So it's Keytar Jeff. I posted a link.
So Jet
Yeah, I pasted.
with a G.
JEFF, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. That's
Yeah.
the guy right there. He's got his guitar set up like
Yeah.
special with a wood body all around.
Mhm.
God,
But it actually looks like kind of a weird guitar.
I just had my first
Yeah,
guitar
others-
lesson this afternoon.
Not that guy's enthusiasm too, like how
I
happy.
think I have a way to go.
Yeah, I really started playing guitar only a few years ago as well.
Yeah, I pretty much started this afternoon.
Great, brilliant.
Yeah.
We can grow old. What's the word?
I have this old PV Strat that I bought for like $100 at a local flea market, and then I had some Seymour Duncan humbuckers put on it, and it's like the only guitar I use for all my production work. I get any sound I need out of this thing, and I got this pedal by Boss, talking about gear, IR 200, and it's got impulse response amplifier and microphone setup simulation. I could.
So it's like a profiler or something. Yeah?
Yeah, but it's like cheaper than the Kempers and stuff. You can get this thing instead, and it's amazing. I've been using it for my productions. I need to do something like 80s, like I look for a preset with a, the kind of sound that I want. Everything's in there. Unbelievable. And I have all the software simulators, but I just prefer to.
I might have to. This laptop is overheating quite considerably. I'll try my M2 laptop. So I'll switch off and come back again.
Wow, in a minute.
That was actually a really nice visual watching the lid close. That was quite good.
It's a nice transition. They should have.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
I started tweaking my guitar again too, because I suck really. But have you guys seen this Jamstack 2 amp thing that bolts onto the? You take
what is it?
body of the guitar,
Oh, this.
put this little adapter on, put this in here,
Amp?
bolt it on, and hook a little wire up, and now you're busking.
Awesome. So now-
with built-in effects, and it's an app-controlled thing, so it's Bluetooth.
Oh wow.
You can record with it, you can stream with it, you can do whatever, or just busk with it with the speaker built in.
You
But
can
it's
walk the
built-in
NAMM
effects.
floor with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You actually, you go that, you guys know if you've been there, the guitar floor is so damn noisy, you can't hear anything over there. It's just this kind of din.
It should be headphones only. The Buchla event will be headphones only, by the way.
Oh, really?
And you could add
It's just so civilized. We have an event here in Mexico called Mex Synthco, which is like our KnobCon.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine puts it together. They actually started as meetings that I held at my house every year, and then started growing, and took it over to big venues and stuff. And it's all headphones, so it's unbelievable. You walk into the floor, and it's so civilized. You have one person presenting with speakers and a screen, and then everybody else on the floor is trying out stuff with headphones. It's
Cool.
should be like that everywhere. It's much better.
that guitar thing. You could add a motor and have a Leslie effect.
Did you guys
Yeah,
see?
right?
Did you see the Look Mom No Computers, that massive rotating speaker thing? They salvaged from a church. It's like 6x6, and it's got
Yeah.
8 rotating speakers. It was
Oh, wow.
amazing.
I know he has a pipe organ that he
Yeah.
salvaged from the house. It's amazing if you see the episode where he took it out of the house. It was built like the architect that made the house built the organ into the house.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
So much cool, crazy stuff on that channel.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's great. Sam is genius.
There were houses here in Denmark in the 70s. They built their houses themselves and had organs.
Mhm.
And either it was tear down the organ or the organ followed the house to the new owner each time it changed owner. That was quite normal.
Yeah. It was quite
So he
abandoned.
took it
So he had to really work on recuperating all the bits and stuff. But he had it installed. Installed it himself at his museum. Right? He's putting together a museum over there in London, I think. And he's controlling it with Arduino.
I thought these M2s booted up quicker than this.
What?
Where is he?
Howard, here's here.
Howard, where are you?
Booted up quicker than this.
Oh, there you go.
Right, no, I had to grab the old one again. Couldn't.
Oh,
Some reason I couldn't get in on the other one. I tried the link and it sent me to the YouTube.
Well,
Ah.
thank you for breaking the awkward silence that happened when you left.
Who's next?
Check it out. This is the fret light playing chords to Bad Moon Rising.
Oh, nice.
It's normal speed. I can't play this fast, but
Fret light.
it'll
Cool.
load up and show you the chords for Bad Moon Rising.
Is that a regular guitar with just LEDs?
It
on
is, yeah. You can't tell until you plug it in.
Awesome.
It's basically a Strat ripoff with
Cool.
the Bluetooth built in, so you can use
It
the app.
teaches you to play.
There's an app to control, and you can change the speed of it, and it's really useful, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but can you see it when you are playing? Can you really see
Well,
it?
just like you would if you normally have to look down. I can't play without looking, so I have to look anyway. So you just look down and you can see it.
But
Very
can
easy.
it do a
Keyboard-
filter
those
sweep?
Keyboards, right, that have little lights too that light up.
With,
Right
a wah,
on
with a
these
wah-wah
heads.
pedal.
Yeah, just hook it to a pedal and go wah wah wah.
It'd be better if the app could actually play the strings, though. That way we wouldn't
Well, I
have
mean,
to
there are
learn.
people who've done that.
Yeah,
right?
that- you can just watch it play itself.
Yeah.
That's another great thing about modulars. You can hook up servos and have it remotely pluck stringed instruments.
Have you
and
guys
stuff.
ever seen that guy that Winter Garden that does the marble machine?
Yeah.
He has a machine that he's engineered that just shoots marbles at like marimba keys and drum parts, and even a bass. There's a bass where like part of the machine frets the note, and then a marble just slaps the string.
It's
and
basically
stuff.
life imitating art because that 3D program from the 80s. Or
Yeah,
started
yeah,
doing
exactly.
that.
That old
Yeah.
He actually made that thing happen, and he's
Yeah.
still doing. And he gets like funding from Patreon. A lot of people are sending him money to keep doing this thing.
Those are
Amazing.
all those old Anna music videos, right?
Annie
Anyways,
music.
that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that's great.
That thing is amazing.
But the
But
fun
you
thing about
know-
that is it was procedurally generated music, right? I mean, the
Uh-huh.
animation's driving the music.
Yes.
I think.
Mhm.
With the Winter Garden guy, the marble machine, it sounds unbelievable, but there's this constant background. Imagine tape hiss is a little bit of a problem. Imagine a whole mechanism moving marbles around. It's like like you hear the music, but there's no way to isolate the mechanical sound of the machine.
That's
God.
quite a modern thing to allow. If you listen to some modern, even cinematic music, there's a lot of creaking and
Yeah, that's welcome, right? That's part of
Yeah.
this music. Sure, I can be on board with that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All about how you explain it, right? That's what art's all about. It's not what you did and what people think. It's how you justify it and explain it, and conceptualize it.
Manny, I have some questions from the last show.
Sure.
Would you rather like to answer them? They are comments on the video. Would you like to answer them as comments, or would you like to answer them here?
I can answer them here.
Okay.
I speak
fine.
better than I type usually.
Yeah. I read worse than I speak.
Swings and roundabouts.
There you go.
Bill Evans is asking, please provide more info about faking per key arpeggio. Manny mentions EG bias control being an FM part destination, but I can't find any such parameter as a poly aftertouch destination. Is he referring to OP AEG offset? How is this used in that faking method?
Okay. The shortest answer is I've had private conversations with him, walking him through that. So he's actually had part of that answered, and some of that has to do with just terminology things because I'm sloppy and I haven't had my head deep into a montage M for actually quite a while. Essentially, it just has to do with making your modulation destination certain parts of the envelope stages. In the old Yamaha speak, there used to be this thing called EG bias, which was a depth of control for the overall amplitude of your envelope generator. In the montage, it's actually slightly different. You have independent control over certain stage groups of the envelopes, as well as operator output directly, which is, of course, processed by the EG. So I helped clarify that up for him. So it was just me being a little sloppy on that. So sorry if I confused people.
Okay, then you.
Hopefully that
probably-
answer didn't confuse people more.
Yeah, I think you have answered the other question then, because it's from him too. So,
right.
so
And
let's skip that.
my computer's overheating again, so I'll say goodbye and come back in immediately. I hope with my other one.
I think it needs a beer,
I
Howard.
worked it out. I
Yeah.
think I worked it out.
Just pour a beer over it. That'll cool it down.
You know those fan packs for it, like I have on my laptop. The old laptops got really hot. You put a little fan
Yeah.
thingy underneath it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you had a little thigh fire going on, right?
In Brazil, I used
Well,
to
that's why
put
Apple
those-
said it's not a laptop; it's a mobile computer or whatever. They get hot because they're not called laptops.
Bag of frozen peas will sort it.
I've actually used one of those gel packs right out of the
Yep.
fridge
Yeah.
underneath the computer in Brazil in the heat.
Oh yeah,
I have the
humidity
opposite
must be a
problem.
nightmare too, right? So,
You have the opposite problem.
Yeah, with my M1 MacBook, that aluminium casing is so cold, just naturally a very cool
is
temperature,
cold.
and it doesn't get hot. I mean, I can have that thing running, and you just don't feel. There's no fans, there's no heat, there's nothing, and
What do you have?
in the summer, if you put it on, like, you're wearing your shorts, you put it in your laptop, it's like, oh, that's cold. It's like ice.
Yeah.
It's one of the it's 2020 M1 MVP.
Oh yeah, that's the one I
My
have.
MacBook Air's like that; it gets cold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cold. It's just weird, but yeah.
I
good.
do manage to get mine a little bit warm.
Mm.
A lot of big sections in it.
It's like I was surprised actually that the Mac Studio that I've got has actually got it's a very quiet fan, but it's a fan. It doesn't always come on, but yeah.
Now you come to mention it, it's cold in here.
I used to rely on my computers to keep me warm during the winter.
He usually relies on dogs. So.
Yeah.
Kent's got to turn on CS80 to warm up.
Yeah, Kent has the true 3-dog studio.
Turn the 80 on, it'll be toasty in here in about 10 minutes. Oh, hello.
There.
Your mate's here, Robbie.
Oh, hello, Noah.
Hi,
Right.
you're muted.
Oh, there's Nelly.
Is that an MPCX you have there next to you, Ken?
The
NPC.
Here?
No, the other one.
The other side.
NPC.
Yeah, got an NPCX there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize the light scheme. I have the one here. So.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
I'll let you know when I actually properly use it.
Oh,
Yeah. Did a lot of buying stuff and then I'll get round to it.
He's only had it
There's
3
other things.
years.
3 years, get up.
I
Like
used to
2.5.
have the,
Yeah.
the daily job. You know, need any kind of electronic beat, I'll just pump it out on me.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought I'd taken some time off before I changed jobs. I thought, I'll have some time to
Get to learn.
get used to this stuff. And instead, what I did was completely strip down the studio and start again. So, and now those weeks have gone by, and it's nearly together now. So I can, when I'm in Cubase, I can pick a particular instrument, and you just send data to it or have data come from it or whatever. But yeah, the time's running out, and I haven't actually finished anything yet. So again, typical.
All this talk of expressive instruments, I got to bring up the ATV A-frame if you guys haven't seen
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The most expressive drummy thing electronically ever made.
Oh, wow. What is that called?
Yeah. ATV A-frame, it's Kakahashi-san, but when he left Roland, started a company with his son. And his son's an amazing hand drum player, a frame drum
You
player.
told me about it.
And it's got contact mics in the frame and in the head, and it's pressure sensitive, and it's all DSP. There's no samples in it.
Right.
And there's so many like natural sounds in it, weird sounds, even clever ways of turning effects on and off. Like there's some patches where you go, and then you push for reverb and let go. It's dynamically controlled reverb and stuff.
Wow.
ATV A-frame. That's the logo there, ATV. I kind of covered it up a little bit with my clacker.
A-frame, ATV corporate.
Impossible to get in the U.S. now. I had to get it from Thomann in Germany, and paid a heavy duty for it.
Oh yeah.
And right?
Yeah, I was in Japan. So this, what did I pay for? Like, they're really hard to find. You can get used ones here and there, but a new one, if you could find it, they're still around $1,400, something like that. But worth every penny. I love this thing.
They're not making them anymore?
Well, maybe they have stock everywhere, but I don't think they still update the website. You can still share patches with people, make your own patches and share them, and use a patch manager.
They're not currently making them anymore.
I don't think so. Yeah, it's one of those things where poor marketing. Because if you watch there's a Sweetwater video with one of the reps where he talks to Kakahashi-san and he also plays, and those demos are really good. They immediately sold me. But either people didn't see it or don't like percussion or don't care or whatever.
No, there's
because it should have taken off.
There's a system by Evans, the drum head manufacturers, that is similar in concept to what you're describing. You actually buy the head. It's a special head you put on your acoustic drum set. On the different, and there's like a brain that interprets the signals, and you map out. You train it, right? So you hit your drum with different strengths in different zones, and it recognizes that sound, and then you can program the craziest synth patches in the world to be played out of your acoustic set.
What's the sound generator though? What do you use? The samples, or what are you doing?
No, it's also physical modeling and DSP.
It is physical modeling, okay. Yeah, because this does some of the whacked out stuff. But the only thing similar to this that I've either owned or played is one of the Korg wave drums, like the Wave Drum Global, which is cool in its own way, or the mandala pads that Danny Carey uses in Tool.
Oh,
Mandala pads are amazing drum pads. Super expressive. But they ain't cheap.
Not much is these days now.
No, well, they're custom and they're small batch and they're kind of boutique-y things. So
Yeah, that
anytime
never
you-
helps. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's like the touch digital controller.
It is, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
But high quality. That's the thing. High quality.
We were talking about drum pads and stuff. I got these modules from Vasky
Oh,
in
I
Europe,
haven't seen those.
and they take drum trigger inputs, like regular drum trigger inputs, and they're made for triple zone or dual zone pads. And what they do is they generate a modular compatible trigger for each.
That's
of the
awesome.
zones.
Can you put that link in the private chat, please? I want to check those out.
Yeah, sure. So I have this Yamaha 3-zone pad here. So you have the rim on the right side, the rim on the left side, and the middle, and it just has a normal TRS output.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
me. When you plug the TRS into the triple one, it's called the 3Z trigger.
Oh, I gotta
And you
try
can
that.
use it, and I've been using it with my.
I have a TD17. It'd be perfect with that. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I have it integrated with the acoustic set that I have in the back there,
Hmm.
so you can use modular sounds with acoustic drum sound. A lot of fun. And there's even another little module by them here too, which is called the Mux ECS4. And that's meant to take your pad triggers that you're generating with the modules and mux and demux them in different ways to control different things.
Wow.
That's a very vague description. I'm sorry. I need to actually study up on the module a little more. I'm supposed to make a video about it.
Yeah, let me know the name of that guy, the link or whatever, because I gotta.
Yeah, let me write it here fast.
Thanks. I was gonna try and get Bastel stopped making some of their cool modules. They just cycle them out, and they had a servo and a little activator kind of modules that you would hook, and you could hook them to regular drum heads. So you could just send out rapid triggers to real drum and cymbals and stuff.
The solenoid.
Control from your modular.
Have you seen that video by Pat Metheny called the Orchestrion, where he
Yeah,
hooked up
it's
the
crazy.
entire orchestra with servo motors and react?
There was a cafe just down the street from NAMM that since has been bulldozed last time I was there. But it was one of these old-timey cafes that had like a mini version of Orchestrion in it. And it was crazy.
Cool.
Robbie, would you introduce this?
No, Andy was talking about the
A-frame.
the ATV A-frame, and this is Kakahashi's son playing a tribute to Don Lewis,
Oh, really? I didn't
because
see
of
that.
course Kakahashi and Don were big friends. Yeah, and he's playing this Amazing Grace on this thing. It's incredible. It really is.
It is cool. He's a good player, too.
Oh, no sound.
It is it's just low.
No, we're not hearing it.
Are you not? I am.
No.
Yeah, I'd
Praying
never heard
that
of his son until I got this drum, and I was like, the guy's really talented.
Oh, okay. If you're not hearing it, then there's no need to share
His
it.
sound design is good, too. He
Um,
makes really good patches for it.
I hear it fine here, but I posted the link in the chat.
Yeah, it's a good little demo.
Yeah, thanks for saying it. I haven't seen that. I'll check that out.
Hmm.
Let's see.
But yeah, it's one of the most expensive things I've ever used. And I love the Osmos and the Rolly and all that stuff, but the drum is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I went for kind of a cyclical journey with searching for expressive controllers, where I was originally a bass player, and then I started fiddling with synthesizers and computers, and then I started getting into MPE and sensitive things, and then I came right back to the fretless bass. Here it is. This is my expressive controller right here. Nothing could be more.
Well, even a violin with the right bow technique, like con leño and all that kind of weird, stuff you can get out of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We hear you, Howie.
All good.
That took a while.
So that's why there wasn't sound on the other's video. It was Howie who was supposed to sing on it.
Well, Henrik, you're supposed to
turned up.
sing when we have dead spots. Remember, you're supposed to sing Danish
Yeah,
folk songs.
yeah, but actually, we
433 by John
was it the last show?
Yeah.
It's actually the live stream with the most views I've ever had.
See, you're a singer.
It's incredible.
So I'll tell you something really funny. How the algorithm works, right? How you,
Yeah.
you know, I do the weekly hardware jam challenges, and a couple weeks ago we had this one on gas about your newest gear, and I happened to have picked up the Behringer Cobalt expander. And normally hardware jams, the views are just the people in the group and such, and so it's whatever 80, 100, 120 views. It just happened to be coincidental as I just wanted to see what happens if I specifically put a bunch of hashtags for Behringer Cobalt in the video description, and now I have almost 1,000 views of that one jam. Wow. So if you want to get the views, just put like Behringer's latest product in your thing and get people and just rickroll people.
Yeah. But
We'll try that on the next PSN, shall we, Kemp?
I'm
I
the
think we
kind
should.
of person.
I think we should, yeah.
If I feel cheated by seeing something because I thought something was in it, I will never see it again. Never visit that channel again. So
But
I wouldn't do that.
yeah. But anyway, it was just surprising because the first 3 days and then through the jam weekend it was the usual that, and I just thought I was going to change the description here, see what happens. Lo and behold, boom. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did get a comment that somebody that watched it bought a Cobalt, so there you go.
Put Genos2. Hashtag Genos2. Watch our views plummet.
Yeah, nice one, Steve.
Actually, when you began talking about the Genos jokes or what it was he talked about, I didn't get it. I only know the Modi X and the old montage. So, of course, the DX7.
Woody has done quite a good video on it.
Well, Woody put out a video this morning.
Yeah.
In kind of like in defense of the Genos 2, is it cheesy? And
It is.
It is. And I came away from watching that video just doubling down. It is. It's Parmesan. It's
craft
it's
Parmesan. Nothing wrong with real Parmesan.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so cheesy.
It just needs
You know
a
what
George
my
Brutus
real
shredding
problem
video.
is? I'll tell you what my real problem with the Genos 2 is, especially after watching that unboxing video, that it's not hammer, it's made of plastic, and there's no real substance to it when you pick it up. So why the hell is it £1,000 more?
Yeah.
Than an M8X. That's the real crux of it. I'm going, I don't understand. How can you charge more money for that?
You know why? Because it's going to giggy musicians. They have money.
Do they? That must be what it is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You pay a lot of money for something to play everything for you
Exactly.
badly.
What is the
Right.
It's an Arranger keyboard.
Ranger keyboard? One of
Yeah.
those things?
Yeah, so it's what you see on a cruise ship with
Right.
a married couple who should know better in their sort of late 50s, dressed in frilly shirts, bow ties, and a chintzy dress, singing horrible covers of 1950s, 60s pop songs. It's that
How do you
kind
spell
of
the genus? I'm looking for it.
Genos, and it's the Genos 2.
Genos. I was using it.
Not happy with making one. They
Is
made
it
another.
is it the next in the line after Tyros? I remember the Tyros.
Yeah, I don't know if Tyros is still a product line or whether that's gone. Tyros was like a super arranger, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah. It was
Well, this
actually
is
the
more like
Tyros
the
was quite good. actually.
DJX or something, is it?
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is, Genos is just like this massive preset machine. There's not only preset sounds that you can't really do anything with, but it's preset styles and preset patterns and preset this and preset that. And
Genos, aka generic. Yeah. So.
Don't be surprised if in a few years Roland starts implementing AI technology into these.
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Where then it'll be predictive and it'll be like real musicians that are listening to you in the track.
The arranger that plays itself.
Yeah. And again, you can sit back and just watch it go.
Well, then you really have to call it the masturbatory box. So it's,
It's not even masturbatory, it's just pornography.
yeah.
You don't need the hardware then.
Oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Oh,
The Genos is absolutely brilliant for the market it is aimed at, but that market is not our market.
No.
By
Yeah,
any
because those
stretch.
players would make anything sound like that, right? So
Yeah, they were using like the Tritons and stuff, or even the M1 back in the day. Like those kinds of workstation keyboards were what they were using then. And then this is like the evolution, kind of like
well, JV1010 because it all the multi-tone stuff.
Here in Mexico, there's still popular keyboards. You go to there's a street market near the Musicians Union here in Mexico City. It's a traditional classic music. People sell stuff on the street literally. I bought my Pianet T, my Hohner Pianet T off the street for $80 there. And my guitar I got there too and stuff. It's fun for some things. Nowadays, internet, they know what they're selling more, so it's not so easy to find the deal. But I found an SY1, the Pearl Syncussion there for $40 and sold it for 500 broken, and then the person sold it for 2,000.
What's funny, all the Mexican band guys around here that come to Guitar Center and they automatically go for accordion patches. They love accordions.
Yeah, man, because it's part of their
part of the banda ranchera kind of.
Yeah, so that these kinds of keyboards, the T1, the M1, the N5, these romplers, they still sell a lot because they use for cumbias and parties and banda music, things like that. They're still very sought after.
got the state of that.
Yeah, I've got some kind of very early Roland, horrible white plastic thing. I can't remember what it's called. With the General MIDI 2 or whatever it was at the time, just full of that stuff. It sounds horrible, but I did.
In general,
I did used to have a D10. Was it the D10R? Was it? Can't remember now.
yeah, the E series I think were the earlier Ranger keyboards, weren't they?
And that was quite good. Like cut down D50 in a 19-inch rack. And a nice fretless bass sound.
Where would you find that?
It is funny to compare the General MIDI from like Yamaha and Roland at the same time because they all have the same patch names pretty much in the same kind of order, but some of them are drastically different. Like sometimes the Roland one's better, sometimes the Yamaha one's better,
and then of course they both did their extensions. So you had XG for Yamaha and GS for Roland.
Oh dear, yeah.
I actually found GS stuff was good.
The MIDI CCs when there were suddenly things like Celeste depth, and, weird stuff like that.
actually QI 100 sounded good though. It had the XG in it. So
I've got one of those somewhere.
yeah, and if you hook a little CC controller to it, you have filter control. You have cutoff and resonance right there.
Look what I've been using for the 80s portion of my composition work.
Ah, yes.
TG33.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's an SY. What's it?
Those are fun.
PG. Yeah.
The TG33, which is the tabletop version of the
SY22.
Yep.
It has
There's
the
one of
back
those just there.
joystick here. The SY22 was my first Pro keyboard.
Ah, okay.
And so this is nostalgic for me as well. The sounds out of this thing brings me right back to being 15 years old. Sorry, I'm blowing bat poo off of my table here.
Oh, I thought you were playing a VL1.
It's actually funny to see Ken looking up. He only needs to sneeze when.
No, I've just had an
dusting
email.
off.
I've just had an email coming from Tiny. He's attached some photographs for me of some of the stuff I'll be working on in the next couple of months. And there is there's a piano, a 19. What did he say? I forgot what he said it was now. I'll shut it down. I think it's a 1961 Fender bass piano.
Doors.
Wayne and Zarek used on the doors.
And you want to see the keyboard on it. I tell you what, if a guy walked in with teeth like this, Manny, you just go, no, there's a door, bye-bye. And they're all sort of like,
can't solve it. Yeah.
That
all
bad.
over.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at it going, how am I going to get that to look straight?
Yeah, and even get it in.
Put it in a rack.
Yeah. I put on it, I said about, I said, oh, is it MPE or just standard MIDI? I tell you what, these people, they don't have a sense of humour at all.
I can still feel having been through braces and neck gear is torture. Just
Yeah.
MPE is standard MIDI though, right? It's just like guitar synths basically. You're using a note for different note per channel, so you can do bends.
Mm-hmm.
The only good thing about this piano is it doesn't have many keys at all.
It's only like 2 octaves, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
a tiny, tiny little baby thing.
oh, it's like a David Guetta keyboard.
Yeah, it's it's their bass Fender.
It's
Okay,
a-
Remember that meme 3 years ago? Listen
Rubber
up,
Roads.
or something.
yeah,
And that was the bass in the Doors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I played
Yeah.
left bass on one of these, and he played the Vox Continental with the right hand.
yeah. But at least he sent me now a photo of this Keith Emerson's 4 VCO Mini. And do you know what? It just looks like a normal Mini. I don't see anything special on the front at all. So I'm looking. So how are you accessing the 4th VCO? Is it just tied to the 3rd VCO or something? Don't know what
There's
the
no
hell.
knob on the back or something like that.
Never even
And
heard.
I'm not seeing anything in the photo anyway. I mean, it's only like a front shot. And the other one next to it is another Emerson one, but it's just a normal RA. then
And was
there's-
that made by Moog before VCO Mini Moog?
yeah, it was custom built by
Oh wow!
Moog. They made.
It's a sub octave.
I really don't know until it comes in the door.
What's with modulation?
Yeah,
Maybe
do you know
just
what?
invoke
That's
with
what
a
it
switch.
needed. That's what it needed. It doesn't appear to be like any little tag switches on it or anything. It just seems to be quite normal looking. So I don't know, unless it's tied to VCO2, and then he
'Cause
uses VCO3 for modulation only.
It's like the Rogue
Funny.
has that one oscillator that's fully tweakable, and the other one's kind of stock, like
Yeah.
not really tweakable. Just fills in, just acts as a second oscillator basically, but it's not as fun to
Yeah.
use.
Well, we'll find out when he gets here. We'll find out. We'll find out what's going on. Because I think that there's 2 left in existence. So there's this one, and the other one's in the Moog Museum.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, I think that's where the other one resides.
That doesn't put the pressure on, does it?
Nah, I'm not worried about that. But he's also sent me a photo of all the emu stuff he wants me to look at as well. So I'll tell you what, Rob, you want to see the E2 he's got? Ooh, very pretty. And there's a
The
blue
E2
box with it. I
Plus,
don't
or
know
is
what
it
that
the
was.
regular E2?
I pass. Again, it'll come in through the door and I go, oh, okay, it's one of them. Whatever.
What's an E2?
Emulator.
Emulator too.
Oh, emulator.
Yeah. I don't know what. I'll see if I can find that photo again, but it's a very weird looking blue box as well with it. What was it? Emulator analog voltage interface.
Oh yes, yeah,
Oh, okay. And what's that? Oh, and a drumulator.
yeah. So drumming, yeah.
Yeah, and the drumulator with her. And she doesn't look like she's a plush. She looks like an original too. So, lovely condition.
Has it got the shakuhachi in it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, but it's got a wall of memory Moogs. I thought I'd seen the back of those bloody things, but apparently not. And the up wall is what we got. God, he's got all the Odysseys: Whiteface Mark 1, Black and Gold Mark 2, Black and Orange Mark 3. Oh my God, fathers! It's a little so you've got Tonus 2600 and a VCS3 as well up there.
Nice.
That's one of the shelves. He's got hundreds and hundreds of keyboards. It's ridiculous. His warehouse is about the size of a football pitch, and it's just packed with all this gear that he's been hiring out since the early 70s.
So they're still making VCS3s. Anyone know anyone who bought a recent one?
How?
Well,
what do you-
Robin won.
Robin's
Robin-
the only- yeah, they're the only ones made now, I think.
Yeah.
It's a long wait list, like a decade long.
Yeah, it's like a decade.
Yeah.
Ludwig used to build them, I think.
Yeah.
Drew,
'Cause I know
Drew Schlesinger has one. I think he got his. I don't know, either right before or right after the COVID thing, but he had an original one which he very foolishly sold, so he got back on the waiting list. But he does the one in his videos that he posts is a new
It's a
one.
recent one. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a recent one that he waited forever for. Yeah.
I know 2 or 3 people that have actually cancelled their order. They got fed up waiting. And
What were they
like-
going to wait for the Behringer one? Were they?
God.
Well, I don't know. Mate.
I've touched VCS3 serial number 0001.
Ah,
Oh, have you?
Have you washed that finger yet?
No,
Did you lick it?
I
Watch it
didn't.
again.
No,
Because apparently you lick them. You think that's okay?
apparently, yeah. No.
I've
It was in
touched all the
immaculate
Synthi
condition.
Ps, the Synthi P. You remember that one? There are 3 different things called a Synthi P. And the guys, I think it was when Tim Orr came to the company EMS, and he started developing the professional, the Synthi, like the Synthi A, but the professional version.
Uh-huh.
And it never really came to light, but there were 3 prototypes. And I've tried them all.
Nice.
Back in the day.
I was very lucky to be invited to go and see David Vorhaus in his studio.
Yeah, I've been there as well.
Yeah, it's
So
fantastic.
if he
isn't it?
lives in the same place, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the same place for the God.
He's still got his collider farm.
Yep. He's built. He's got. I think he's on his 3rd or 4th iteration of it now. He's still got the originals, but his new one is only so long, and he could just sit there and just play it like this. Yeah, it's still an incredibly phallic instrument.
Indeed, yeah. That's why.
But what that room is just because you walk up the stairs, it's in the loft, and you walk up, and that synthy is on a shelf in the corner. I don't think he uses it. He's still got all the joystick with all those
Yeah.
things on. I don't know what they are.
No, I was there 50 years ago. It must be
Wow.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing place,
Yeah.
and he's an amazing man. And he showed me his Fairlight, which was buried under God knows what. And I said, "Does it still work?" And he said, "Oh, I don't know."
I still listen to white noise every now and again to remind me.
Yeah. Well, it's still going. I mean, him and what's his name? I forget the name of the guy he does it with. Mike Painter. They still play live. I mean, David turned 80 this year.
Yeah.
And he's still the same, sort of cantankerous, brilliant
He was
genius.
hitting on my girlfriend. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
kind of- yeah.
He hits
I-
on every. Well, that's how he met Peter Vogel, right?
Yeah.
So this is in 1980. They went to an AES convention in Geneva, Switzerland. So Peter had been invited because they were getting an award for the Fairlight, and David had been invited for some unknown reason, I don't know. And they both met and discovered they shared a mutual girlfriend, not at the same time, but and
Well,
the
that's what they
friendship.
say.
Well, yeah, and the friendship was struck, and
I
the
think
next thing you
David
know,
Vorhaus will have had several girlfriends. So.
yes, yeah. But yeah, then the next thing David's gone to Sydney to stay with Peter for a while, and that's how. Well, it was during that trip that he sampled Stravinsky's Firebird for the Orc 2 patch, which of course then became everywhere.
And gave birth to house music.
And gave, but yeah, well, everything, yeah. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
but yeah, because obviously Vorhaus had got an affinity with Stravinsky. He was a big Stravinsky fan. In fact, on the first White Noise album, there's a track that's kind of dedicated to or pays an homage to Stravinsky. And so he was going through Peter's record collection and found this copy of the Firebird Suite and put on side 2, dropped the needle, press sample. That's it. And it was stored.
Well, thanks for that,
And,
Rob, because up until 30 seconds ago, I thought Firebird was Migulski. So thank you for clearing that up for me.
No, you're welcome.
I must have gone wrong somewhere down the road.
And I actually found on Discogs an identical copy of the version, because obviously, you know, it's Stravinsky. There's 100 versions of the Firebird Suite knocking around, and they're all slightly different. But particularly that opening chord of Infernal Dance is played differently every time. But on this particular record, it's the sample, so you can just sample that, and it's exactly the same. But that's how.
Africa Bombata, love that sound.
That's how it came to be.
Electro, baby.
I
I had in my studio in Brazil once. He has a son in Brazil, and he goes there to DJ a couple times a year. And a friend of a friend was looking for a studio, and I was like, well, bring him over. And then with Africa Bambata shooting arrows in my backyard.
Nice.
Quite a night.
Yeah, I bet. Yes. Right, well, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. But if I don't see or speak to any of you before this time tomorrow, have a fantastic new year. And I will see you and Manny at Super Booth.
Yes, I'll be there too.
Me.
Good. Oh, you'll be there as well. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Party.
There you go.
Party.
Indeed. I'll make sure that I'm booked into a large hotel room. And we can have a party.
I'll bring the cognac.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
You can't
All right,
drink.
guys.
Beer bong, right?
You won't be able to drink any of it. You can only watch, Robbie.
Oh, I know. God,
Yeah.
no. Special
Sorry.
occasions.
I'll bring you alcohol-free.
Slap round the head.
Yeah, bring me some alcohol-free Guinness or something. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What, the 0.0 stuff?
It's actually not bad.
Is it?
Yeah, if you think, you know,
Well,
you
then
think
it doesn't
drinking-
matter.
Yeah, I know. But
That'll be all right then.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's why I'm making the most of this until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The clock is ticking, isn't it?
Indeed. And hopefully it's not ticking for me. That's the reason I'm giving it up.
It is for all of us, Rob.
Yeah, very true. Anyway, love you and leave you. Take care. All the
Bye,
best,
Rob.
Henrik.
See ya.
See you all soon.
See you later,
See
man.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Seems like, I don't know if Manny switched off his camera, maybe.
He said he'll be back.
Yeah. So I'll change the view so we can be here, all of us. It's more like that. Yeah.
No, I think I'm gonna log off and log back on from my phone because it's past my lunchtime. I need something to munch on, so I have to
Yeah.
to the kitchen. But I'll join you on my phone.
Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hey, Hendrik, just we were talking about on Ramsey today about the whole music blocking stuff and claims and stuff. You used to have any more follow up with yours? I know I tried to use yours and I haven't tried it since. Is it
I've heard nothing.
nothing? Okay.
I think it's just a glitch from YouTube that they heard it or
Because even Ramsey couldn't play his own music.
Yeah, terrible, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
to think
I
about?
think they just
Was it a simple filter sweep or something? And they tried
No,
to
it wasn't even that. It's just that the algorithm is, and with the way the record company works, I guess they're claiming stuff.
Yeah, but I've heard nothing. I think it was a glitch that they thought it was something else, and that was not allowed, and that's where it interrupted your stream.
So you had to talk to them, or they just figured it out?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay,
They
right.
didn't even write me or anything.
Weird.
That's how YouTube works. It's only if you begin to what is it called? If you don't agree on the claim, it's only after there I will get involved, I think.
Yeah, it makes me want to go to StreamYard now instead of straight to YouTube, because then I can at least record it there and YouTube, and if they pull it, I still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can do that simultaneously, can't you?
Yeah, because sometimes it's like you can't see it anymore. We just took it away. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't even
Yeah,
block
it's
it, so I
stupid.
can just change it? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it on StreamYard. I use StreamYard for all this, and it works great.
Well,
Does
now
it
since I
record
have
the
a-
chat as well? in the StreamYard?
Sorry, one at the time.
Does it record the chat as well when you
It does.
record it in
No,
StreamYard? It
no,
does.
no.
No.
Oh, I thought it did.
No, not the chat, but as long as you don't edit your YouTube video, the chat is still there.
Yeah.
But it allows you to download a transcript of everything that has been said in the stream.
But not if they
Right,
yanked your video.
What?
If they yank your video, though, you can't even do that.
Because
you can't even see it in your studio.
I talk about StreamYard.
Oh yeah, but I mean so the chat log will be stored in StreamYard if you do some fancy
it's
footwork?
not stored in StreamYard. No.
Yeah, so you're screwed that way then.
But as long as you don't exit the studio, you still have the chat there, even if it's gone on YouTube. So you can browse and copy, but you can't browse from one end to another to the end.
Yeah,
and
it's
copy.
first in,
It only
first out
covers a
stuff,
page
right?
at the time.
Yeah.
That's how the script works.
Yeah. What a pain.
Yes.
Taking the fun out
Manny
of it.
says he's back in a minute. Oh, he said it 6 minutes ago. He will be back.
Yeah. So, how are you
Um,
going to do
Quincas
any more
is here.
patches for Zebra?
Zebra, no. I'm
Come
doing-
on,
doing a lot
please.
of MPE stuff. I'm doing a lot of MPE stuff, and Zebra is not MPE.
Oh, okay.
So hold it. You're going to change your stripes?
Oh.
Oh dear. No, I mean I love Zebra and all that, but it's now a legacy product,
Yeah.
and
I only use your patches.
thousands of patches for it. I've personally done a couple of thousand for it. But
So what's your primary synth now? You're making
at the
patches?
moment, I'm doing a lot of hype and Godzilla
Okay.
because they're both pretty good MPE capable synths now. They've just released a public beta of MPE quite recently, and so, for instance, here I've got actually I'll unplug this.
When you say hype, you mean the one that's on a Kai? The MPC?
Oh no, I can't. Sorry, this is the same computer. I can't show you anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
The picture is better on this one. The colors are better. Hi.
Yeah, it's an MacBook Pro.
Right.
And the other one was about 4 or 5 years old. Intel. Yeah, they're getting better. I love these new Macs.
Yeah, except there are fewer and fewer connections.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can show the screen from the same computer. No, I can't. It's too difficult.
Oh, just twist.
No, the thing is, this laptop is drawing its power from the screen. If I unplug, if I unplug the, no, it's not the power, is it? It's the cables are too short. Simple as that.
It looks interesting what Quincas is doing.
It looks very delicious. Anytime you see steaming tortillas, it's
I
a good
get
sign.
hungry.
Enjoy.
Mm.
Oh, that's what is that hummus, wasn't it?
No, it's a salsa.
Oh, pita and hummus?
Cheese.
Bread and
Hummus.
hummus.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is hummus. Okay.
Yes.
We call that Persian. We call those Persian tortillas.
Right.
I'm actually not Mexican, so I don't eat tortillas that much. But
Well,
I live
the
in Mexico, so I do
The
some.
intro to this stream just got me onto chocolate. I couldn't help it.
Oh, I just found some cheap snowballs. I don't know if you get them in your countries.
Yeah. Well, they're usually Ferrero Rocher. Ferrero. Ferrero.
These
Got
are from
bugger all in
Tom's.
here.
The Danish factory Tom's.
Everybody's hidden snacks.
I haven't got any hidden snacks in here. What the hell is going on?
Mine is Christmas themed, kind of.
Ah, yes.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, Rippers.
I also have these.
Oh, okay. Bum burners.
Colonel. And
Yeah, they are very strong.
Yeah.
You can eat a handful and then you have to take a break.
So what did you all get for Christmas from Santa Claus?
I got the Beetle bass.
All right.
I got some coal.
I thought I was talking myself.
And
Is
I
it
got my
MPE though?
Yes.
MPE coal?
You put some water on it, it's a little squishy.
Cool. What's
I
the
bought
old?
myself that tangerine for Christmas.
Right.
I don't mean the fruit, I mean the
Yeah.
tangerine.
No, I bought myself stuff. I got the tour box and another plant wave because I lost my original plant wave. So
Yeah, my Christmas presents I could not. I opened early because I knew where Santa hid them, and that was the COBOL expander and the nifty keys.
Yeah.
Those are my Christmas presents to myself.
So what? How do you rate the Cobalt then, Manny?
I like it a lot. It's got a nice, unique little sound to it. You can dirty it up really good. So with some of the cross mods on it, the filter is, I don't know how accurate it is to the original. It's been a long time since I've played one, and I don't think the online demos I've heard of original Cobalts are particularly well recorded to know the spice. But it's got a little characteristic that my Pro One and my Odyssey and my Arturia stuff don't have. So I like it. It's pretty cool.
And do you have a Pro 600?
I do not have a Pro 600.
I'd be interested. I'm quite interested in that as well.
Yeah. You'll appreciate this, Howie, and I know Kent will as well. I don't understand the allure for a lot of the synths from the era of how much can we take away and still call them a synth? Because when the analog guys had to start price competing with, Yamaha after the DX, it's like the Poly 6, the Juno 6, the Prophet 600. It's like these were made to be budget synths, and they were all cut rate to be able to get them to hit price points.
Yeah,
And they,
I kind of like the JX8P, for instance.
JX8P, I think, is a nice machine.
JX3P, which was much more difficult to program.
Yeah.
Without the programmer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Forget it without it.
But it was.
love my
it had
MKS50. No matter what you say, I will always love my MKS50.
Yeah, I mean, there were.
What's
Alpha Juno's
MK50 is the same as what?
The Alpha Juno.
Alpha Juno. I don't care for the envelopes on the Alpha Juno.
Yeah.
Something about them I don't like.
But anyway, so
They're
the Prophet.
multi-segment.
Sorry, Profit
They're
600.
multi-segment with volume and time control for each step. That's kind of cool.
No, it is. But like the 600 always struck me as a compromise
Yeah.
package. It's like, so I never had a lot of interest in it when it first came out. But,
Well, it wasn't it? It was the sort of like, because people were going in, oh, I love that Prophet 5, but it's very expensive. Going,
yeah.
well,
The VPS3 was the budget Synthi 100.
yeah.
Even the guy himself, what's his name, Russian, Zinoviev, he called it a pathetic little synthesizer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they have their place, which is fine. But, at a certain point, I'm like, it's like I had the big one. Why do I want to go back to the little one?
Yeah.
It's like Matrix 1000s are fine machines, but if you've
Did you
had,
get yourself a Prophet 5 at the time?
I never owned one, but I've been very fortunate. I used to have infinite access to a lot of gear because of people who I know. So, but like I said, it's like a Matrix 1000 is great, But if you had a 12 or an expander or played the other machines, it's like,
I love the filter in the Matrix 1000. I think it's really good.
Well, one thing that I have to say that whoever did most of the engineering, Marcus, obviously, and guys after he left, they got some interesting timbres out of standard filtered chips on the Oberheim stuff because a lot of the gear that they share components with, they sound different in a good way. So they really found a way to make them sing. I mean, the expander's the biggest example of that because that's all off the shelf standard Curtis chips, and it doesn't sound like anything else of the era.
Mm.
I met a guy at Synth Meet in San Francisco who's used to sell and service Synthi A's, Synthi AKS, and he showed me one he had customized. He was demoing at the event, and he said, when you open them, it's shocking how cheap they are, how poorly put together they are internally. Although they sound good and they're fun, they're really made out of cheap parts.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes that's
not just cheap; they were also discontinued.
Yeah.
When they were fitting them, they were discontinued parts.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's the magic, right? Just the right blend of the right
Oh, sure.
tolerances,
Yeah.
and then you'll never ever capture that again.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the TR-8 with the broken transistors, right? It was a design choice to get that fizz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even I own a
Big
proper
moment
5
when you-
Rev 2.
You have
Yeah.
a Rev 2.
I have an original Prophet 5 Rev 2 because
Nice.
I believe you should keep your enemies close.
Close.
Has it been giving you trouble?
Oh, this one gave me a lot of trouble, and in the end, it was cheaper for me to buy it and buy another Prophet 5 Rev 2 and give it to the customer. So I ended up with this one. I still have to fix it. It's got there's a distortion on the square wave, only on the square waves. I will figure it out at some point, and then I'll sell it. But yeah, so I technically own one at the moment, which is out in the storage room, which is the best place to keep them, really.
I got to know the Prophet only when it was Rev 3, I think, and I just didn't like the sound.
No,
And
yeah, there's a lot of people say, "Oh no, the Rev 2 sounded better," and yeah.
My ears have gone down. I've lost an octave. I'm down to 10K or something. And now they sound okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it should have been in the instruction manual. You know, you buy a Prophet 5 and then you just stick a pencil in your ear, jab yourself and go, there you go, it'll sound beautiful now.
How about a capacitor in the output?
Yeah.
Do it.
I like it.
You're muted, Andy. Or you're not speaking to us.
Nah, I was talking to the light issue, so.
Oh.
Now Robbie has left.
We can talk
And
about it.
I was going to ask him if he talked about the worst synths of the year or only the best.
Worst synth of the year.
I don't think that was a covered topic.
Yeah, it's a
So-
bit negative, isn't it? I suppose when you're
How
trying
about
to
the
do
weirdest
Yeah.
synth you've ever owned? Weirdest
But
synth
but
you've
we
ever-
are old
Yeah, yeah.
angry men.
yeah.
And
That's
Get off
we're
my
sorry.
lawn.
allowed to talk like
Get
that.
off my lawn!
I'm trying to think. Was there anything that came out that I actually physically disgusted with when it came out?
I have never met a synth I didn't like.
Oh, I have.
You've never met a synth, a polysynthy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have not actually.
yeah. There's
I
a-
met Planet I didn't like, but with some effects and other tweaks. you could
I
make
didn't
music.
like the early, early JV. No, before that, the 1080.
1080.
1080, yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
like that.
No, it's just a
Oh, and
Roppler.
one I didn't like. It's not from this year, but it's an old
Mhm.
one. I liked all the other functions in it, especially the rhythms. It was the Casio VL1, but the synthesizer function in it, that was terrible.
It's a good calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Still a
what?
guaranteed number one, isn't it?
Well, somebody had that German band had a number one
Yeah.
with that.
Trio, da da da.
Trio. Da,
Yeah, trio.
da, da. Mm-hmm.
Or just a preset, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that question about storing keyboards in the attic?
I
As long as you
mentioned
don't turn them on, it's fine.
My first professional keyboard was the SY22, but before that, when I was like 11, I had a PSS 480, which is
Mm-hmm.
mini keys,
Right.
with
Yeah.
one key accompaniment, a ton of presets. It was a toy, but it had a tiny synthesizer section with 5 slots for presets, and I managed to create the Van Halen jump sound on it.
Is that the one with the blue drum pads at the bottom?
That was the 580. That one
Okay, I
came
have that
a year
one. Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
I had the one right
That's the
before that.
classic one with the drum pads, yeah.
What's that?
The one with the drum pads is
Yeah,
quite...
that's the 580. That's the one that came after the one I had. And those were
580?
PCM samples. Those were pretty good.
The 580 is even used on a Queen album, a later Queen album, like a preset on there.
Really? Those were good, man.
Yeah.
You know, I actually played in bands in Brazil with that thing, with the mini keys and everything, until I was able to get the SY22 and then become a little more professional. But
Wasn't one of the Gorillaz tracks, Gorillaz hits?
that's a different one.
Is
They
it?
did- Yeah, the song Clint Eastwood, they used the preset from something, but it wasn't this keyboard.
Right. It was a Casio something or other, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
When you see that tour of his studio, of Damon's studio,
Hmm.
he's got crazy old stuff collected.
I
all
think he
kinds of
still
weird
has that
instruments.
Casio, actually.
Yeah.
And I remember the Omnichord being used by who produced?
That's what it was. It was the Omnichord. It was a preset from the Omnichord.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
There you go.
Omnichord MIDI is amazing because you can add strum to anything.
Cool.
Omnichord Mini.
MIDI. The
MIDI.
OM200, OM250, and the OM300. I have 2 of those. And
I've never had an Omnichord.
they're great because you can strum them, or you can actually kind of do finger rolls and stuff, and do kind of like arpeggios with them.
I've seen something similar. It was like an electric koto or
Taisho Goto and the
some
Suiko,
Japanese
the Suiko
instrument
things
that you're supposed to
for poetry.
hit.
Yeah, they use it for
It's
poetry.
made by Suzuki, an electric version that was amazing. Made in the 80s, I think.
Yeah,
really
the
cool.
Heinbach made a couple of videos on those, and the prices went through the roof. So.
Oh man,
Yeah, but he put a sample pack out. If you get us Patreon, he made some great samples for it, so you can just get the samples off of it.
freaking Heimbach, man.
Yeah,
No, I don't think
But,
anything will get worse than the EMS polysynth ever. You'd have to really, really work very hard to make something worse than that.
it's very
Is
colorful.
the Timberwolf bad?
Yeah,
It's
The
bad, but it's not
Timberwolf,
polysynth.
Not it's
Polysynthy bad.
with
Right.
work you can make it sound cool, but most people don't. So.
I just remember that video with Kai Dan trying to demo it, and all
No,
the
that's my
voices are
favorot.
completely out of tune.
That's my favorite. The poor
Like
Akai
Ford,
Dan.
And his
Yeah.
face is just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would really suck to be put in that position.
oh yeah, man. Oh,
Yeah.
I totally
Well,
like
I
feel
said
for that guy big time.
I said last week or the week before with polysynthy was I had the job of showing it off at the when it was first come onto the market, and I got paid £30, and I ran. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Yeah, how they thought taking the so-called bass howl synth from the Rhythm Wolf and turn it into a 4-part synth was beyond me. It's just hilarious.
Oh, Wolf, yeah.
They wanted to join the Korg bandwagon of the analog renaissance and people
Yeah.
like Volcas and things like that.
Talk about rush to market, though. It's just like put it out there and let Dan suffer through it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
suffer all the embarrassment.
I think that guy changed management a lot over the last few years, and
Was that guy already part of the? Is it In Music? Is that who they are? Okay.
I think they had just been bought by In Music when that happened. I'm not sure.
A little after that, because that guy who did really good Force demos, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He does a lot of YouTube live stuff now, but he had this amazing technique he came up with the Force. Nick Trakakis. So he was right around the time they were bought. He was let go from Akai, which is too bad because he was like the best performer on the Force.
Yeah.
I actually have a Suzuki right there.
One of the analog
Like
ones.
him, no one has used the Force before.
Hammond, what is it? XK5.
Uh-huh.
KX5. XK5.
Have you guys seen the new Teenage Engineering sampling drum machine thing?
Not yet.
$300. What are they fucking with us?
That thing, yeah.
The thing
Once they get the
prices
quality
one of their
issues
little
figured out,
wooden
it'll
toys,
be
man.
okay.
I was either going to buy that or the Tangerine. I went for the Tangerine.
Yeah, but the rubber feet for it are $2,000.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people laugh about it, but this is one of the best products ever. Super powerful, OPZ.
OPC.
It's, I mean, you put this little op lab in here,
Mhm.
and that CV gate MIDI sync, you know, you can run a
You
whole
always
studio
had this
with it.
stuff to hand. How big
But it
is
has
your
no
desk?
screen, though. I never understood like the OP1.
Well, it comes up and it's right here. So
It's like, what the hell? It's always to hand.
I
What's
just
going
used it
on?
the other day. You know, so. I just have to champion it because a lot of people slag Teenage Engineering, and you know, the table was dumb, and the new price of the OPZ is OP1 is dumb, but almost everything else they came out with is.
What about the wooden
reasonably
choir?
Well, that was just
Amazing.
they're art students and they're design students, and you know, so they're going for that angle because they make lights, they make fancy wireless speakers, they do all this kind of artistic crap, you know.
That's cool.
So that's
That's
why
fine.
they can charge the markup.
In a
Do you
weird
have
manner.
any pocket operators, Andy?
Yeah, those are great. Especially the sampling ones. I mean, you can do some guys do entire jams on just the one PO sampling one, or the
I
tonic
couldn't-
one,
I
which
had
has
to
really good
sell-
tonic synth stuff in it, the microtonic.
I had to sell mine because I just couldn't. I don't know, something about big fingers. Maybe I just
I
couldn't.
mean, I have trouble
flow
with it
with
too,
it,
but
you know?
it's you get around it. It's very capable,
I couldn't flow with it myself.
and they have fun ones too. Like the arcade one has a lot of arcade sounds on it, and yeah, they're a very interesting company, and they you get your value. I mean, OP1 original, they updated for like at least 7 years, 8 years, maybe more for free. You know, no complaints, no just new updates. Would give you new synth, new effects, new sequencers, almost every year and a half, maybe 2 years, for many years. Most companies don't do that. They abandon their stuff, you know, or they charge you.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So that's worth its value right there,
On
right?
the other hand,
What was that, Howard?
Yuhi, on the other hand,
Oh yeah.
practically lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get a Polybrute update recently.
Yeah.
What did we get? Yeah, for the Micro Freak, there was an update recently. Did a little bit of sampling.
Yeah, that's true.
Even the Force gets free updates, but the problem is to get like new instruments, you have to buy them. So they had that thing was like $200 on sale for these instruments, or normally like $400 or whatever it was. It's like,
I think
jeez.
Arturia are good up to about 5 years. Like when an instrument is past 5 years, I think that's when they start just like focus on newer stuff.
I must say, I do like the Arturia hardware.
I do too. I'm a fan of Arturia. I worked with them. I made a few videos for them.
Yeah.
I have a lot of their stuff. I'm just joking around.
Never did like their software, to be honest.
I like the hardware I have from them, but I remember when getting my first controller keyboard, when I looked at theirs, the fader knobs were always sitting like loose or not online. So I never bought an Arturia controller before I got my Keystep Pro, and that was I got some native stuff, which I'm not satisfied with either. Instead, the complete S2 or something like that.
They've done good updates for this guy, but the problem is you have to be careful because sometimes the updates bork the system that gets unstable. So I haven't updated it for a while, but there was an update they came out with, and almost immediately I was getting crashes and stuff. So I said, God damn it, I can't finish my stuff. And then they knew it was a problem, and within 2 weeks or so they had a new one that's stable. So
Also, careful with the new Osmos update. Apparently, they've read some
Oh,
bad.
I was going to ask you about that. I haven't done it yet. Should I
Oh,
wait?
I haven't either.
I haven't either. I'm not going to until next.
I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, it came out a couple days ago. It's supposed
Well,
to
no,
improve.
I guess.
It's supposed to improve the boot up calibration amongst many things, Kent.
Oh,
What thing? What thing?
The
was updated?
Osmos has a firmware update.
Yeah. To fix the thing that I always suffer from. Because there's nothing wrong with key 41. But it keeps saying, oh, key 41 didn't calibrate.
Oh, is
I
that?
only had an issue once because I didn't know you had to leave it alone while it booted up. I didn't read all the stuff. And I go, why is it freaking out? Oh, I have to leave it alone. And that,
Yeah.
I haven't had any problems since. So
Yeah. I did actually in the end. I dropped the rubbers out and just sort of gave them a tap, put it back in. And it stopped doing it for a while, but eventually it came back again. So, but because it's obviously something wrong with the way it's calibrating, or it's too set too high or something, they just dialed it down a bit and it's going, well, ignore that, it'll be all right. But yeah, I've still got to put that on, but I will be doing that, so I don't have to keep rebooting it, because it's not exactly the fastest booting keyboard in the studio. I must admit,
It's okay.
it's all right, but it's, you know, compared with some of the other ones, it's all right. I mean, Hydra's faster.
One thing a gripe I have with the HydraSynth. Turn on my HydraSynth and I'm like sitting there for 15 seconds until it finally boots.
Remember, it's not a bug; it's a feature because you can heat 3 pita in that same time.
And it's a nice light show.
hey, probably
again,
it's
if-
also calibrating his keyboard as well. It's just not telling you that.
Well, it's also better than knowing in an 80 where you turn it on, you've got to wait 3 hours.
That's right.
I don't understand the Iridium. When you start that, it shows a lot of different information, but the screens are just swapping, and you can't read anything. So I don't know why they do that.
Oh, it's probably a memory thing. They're using the screen buffers for memory or something.
But my Iridium is like other
about that?
Iridiums. So
Should
yeah.
film it with one of those high high
Yeah,
frame rates.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, film it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I should film it one day and show it. I think it's strange that they show all that information, but when a window pops up, a new window comes on top, and you can't read anything.
Yeah.
And when it's ready, it's just in the
I love Waldorf sound, but their stuff is
usual
very
start
dirty.
screen. What?
I mean, that was always the nightmare with, waiting for the Andromeda to boot up. So when you're trying to fix an Andromeda, as you start it up again to see if you fixed it, and you sit and wait and wait and wait and wait, and you never know what where it just locks on the Andromeda screen. You just go, is it going to fire up or not? Takes far too long.
Question for you, Henrik, because I don't have the keyboard. I have the desktop Iridium, and I just booted it up, and I don't get a lot of display. When I turn it on, the screen's blank. The LFO LEDs go across 1 through 5 a couple of times, and the splash screen comes up for a couple seconds, and then it just goes right into the patch. But I have the desktop. I don't have the keyboard.
I can try and record it and show you.
Oye, estoy en el programa ese. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué pasó?
Does it ever have errors, Henrik?
What?
It just takes a while. It never has errors. It just takes a while.
In the start it had errors, and I did a reset and uploaded a new firmware, and everything went fine after that.
Because I had Arturia issues. Another thing to worry about upgrading is like even controllers like the KeyStep Pro and stuff. Did some updates, added some cool features, but then I started getting all kinds of stability issues where certain buttons wouldn't work to store patches or whatever. So I just had to factory reset it, and it's fine ever since. But sometimes they just ruin stuff with these updates.
Yeah.
You're the beta tester.
Basically,
Yeah.
just like with Microsoft. Everything Microsoft's beta now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, one reason why I might have a different situation here is that I am apparently, hopefully, one of the more than just few people. I still have the original 2.5 firmware. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever, with any boots, locks-ups, or crashes. I've got 400 day plus hours of runtime on it. So even though a lot of people have mentioned there was Iridium desktop manufacturing knob boot issues, I've got a perfect unit. So it still is only running the 2.5 firmware, so they may have changed it in 2.8 or the new 3.0.
So was that an issue with the screen originally, where it was like not seated properly? Ken Flux Pierce, I think, it returned his or something because it had some build quality.
They have some build quality issues. Again, I have a small, tiny gap with the way it's seated at the bottom, that at certain angles I can see light bleed through it. But I don't have any wobbly knobs. The worst thing I could say about it is that the oscillator 1, 2, 3 buttons and stuff on top of the screen, they jiggle in their slot, so depending on how you push them, they'll be crooked in there, but you just tweak it. But like I said, I've been very fortunate, because usually I'm the guy that gets all the weird gear. It's funny that this one, which has apparently been wanky for many, has been perfect for me.
There we go.
Wasn't it just saying it was loading sample data?
Yeah, but I don't know. I hear myself. Mute this one.
That might be why I don't.
Yeah, maybe your default patch has got some samples in it.
Yeah.
And that would explain a lot, because
But it did
I
that
don't
before
do that.
I did the update too. Before I did a reset and did the update. So it's like it.
Does it scan the keyboard?
It's always
maybe?
doing it like that, I think.
I've got my Quantum here. Maybe you could check it what it does. It's not plugged in, I think. No.
Well, that was nice, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a patch I'm working on.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that.
It's good horror movie opening music there.
Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
I like the different layers within
Is that pan mod just depth or rate and depth?
What?
The pan modulation you introduced with the controller on that, I assume it's a controller anyway, where you do the left-right LFO effect. Are you just doing the depth of the LFO, or are you doing a little speed and depth? Because it's very cool.
Actually, velocity changes the attack. And the modulation, what is it called?
Aftertouch.
This one. It's aftertouch.
Tremolo.
Yeah, tremolo. No,
it's
it's not
tremolo.
tremolo. It's a new effect. Yeah, it's tremolo. That's right. Yeah.
It's nice tremolo.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
Because it's not just the volume, it's the tremolo as well, isn't it?
Manny, do you know who done the Elysian patch on the montage?
Elysium.
Because that's been my go-to of late.
Well, if you gave me 30 minutes, I could tell you. I could look it up. I have a spreadsheet, but off the top of my head, I don't remember who did Elysium. But
That one. Unfortunately, it's playing something else at the same time.
Right.
What is it playing?
I'm going to see how fast I can pull this up. I think it's Peter Schwartz.
Yeah.
He did a lot of the interesting orchestral type things. And he uses a very particular and very nice reverb setting on a lot of his patches for that, and that sounds like one of his.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
He's got because I think he's even got 8 parts with it as well.
Yeah.
Where he adds in all the weird rhythms and stuff.
Yeah. Short of me finding my spreadsheet, I would guess very much so that sounds like one of his.
So, Henrik, do you have more fun with your Iridium or your Hydrosynth?
What about that?
Do you have more fun with Iridium or Hydrosynth?
Both. I like them both. The Iridium is. I like the keyboard a little better on the Iridium. I never thought I would like that, but the aftertouch is more sensitive. And I can
Really?
reach
Is it
more
Poly after that?
different states than I can on.
Got more control.
Yeah. So I like the Iridium better, but synth wise, I like the Iridium much better. It's like the Hydrosynth much better. It's like the Iridium is very limited unless you use samples. It will often sound like the same again and again if you only use the kernels and the FM in it, and it's not that varied as the Hydrosynth is.
Well, the kernels, you can use anything as a modulator. You know?
Yeah, but
I haven't really gone deep into that into the kernel synthesis. I'm sure Manny has a bit more than I have in the meantime, right?
On which, I'm sorry?
Kernel synthesis on the Osmos or on the
the
Iridium.
FM.
So, yeah. I mean, that's what I mainly got it for, is to dive around in there because I was really interested to see how the wavetables play within the FM kernel.
And how did they sound?
Sorry?
Did you find them useful?
Yes. The only reason why I give a answer is with that inflection is I have a hard time grokking the way they set up how you access your real-time modulations in the platform. And the FM kernel suffers from the added-on engine syndrome, which I have to decide in advance what parameters I want to assign to my 6 knobs so I can real-time control them with something.
Yeah.
Because I do that. And so that gets to be problematic because as I chase stuff and I hear a little event and now I want to leverage that event, I've got to rebuild the thing from scratch to bring that up to a controller. And it's very
That's a good point, yeah.
frustrating. So
That's the kind of frustration I got from the Solaris. Beginning, I just couldn't. I had to rethink. When I had an idea, I had to restructure the whole thing.
yeah, so
I don't have much memory of how the Solaris was built up, but I do remember having trouble getting an overview of the entire patch once I reached a certain level of complexity.
right. So that's because I'm just used to and have more comfort when I have direct access of that within the mod matrix, not having to go through an intermediary step. But more importantly, I don't mind the intermediary step so much, but having to then take my modulations and distill them through 6 ports of entry as opposed to the mod matrix, which has 32, that sometimes gets annoying. So sometimes I just go, oh, God, and then I try to start over, and then I get frustrated, and then do something on my Hydrosynth instead. So,
I always considered the Solaris, but it was too expensive. Does it have an editor for it?
I think it does these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it had
The
a
Hydrosynth.
lot of little LCD screens on it for every.
Yeah, I like the scribble strips. That's a clever idea.
Yeah.
That's a
Are
Hydrosynth
you-
is the same thing. So
Are you talking about an editor for the Hydrosynth?
Solaris.
No, for Solaris.
Oh,
Bowen,
Solaris.
from Bowen. I did like the sound and everything, but I just found it difficult to program.
Yeah. The cheapest I could find was like a used one for like $3,600 or something like that. It's like that's a lot for a used anything. So
What say? What's the most that Andy Synthetic has ever paid for a used something? you are the bargain shopping king.
I mean, I get lucky a lot because otherwise I wouldn't have a lot of stuff I have. But I mean, the most expensive thing I ever bought was probably Polyevolver used or the Fismo used at around about $2,000, something like that.
For Fismo.
Something like that. Yeah.
They were throwing them at you for a while. They were
Yeah,
very
I was out of the loop back then.
So I can't interest you in an Oberheim 8 voice then?
I mean, I would like it. I just can't. I won't turn things down if I can afford it.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kent. For the price you're asking for that, I might want to get 4 Maximuses instead.
I'm not asking. It's nothing to do with me, my friend.
You know what I mean.
Well, yeah, but when you said 145,000, I went, sorry?
Good.
What? Of course,
Yikes.
Howie, your mate has gone, yeah, I'm interested.
Of course, he can buy anything.
Yeah.
And he does buy everything.
Kent, I have your answer.
Mhm.
It is actually not Peter Schwartz's. It is Peter Krischker's.
Okay. It just seemed a shame that they couldn't, like, initial, Yamaha would let them initial them. You know, like they did in Zebra, didn't they? Because, you know, Howies are all HS and stuff like that, you know.
We've dropped that, actually.
Oh, yeah?
We've dropped that, yeah.
Oh, so it's going to be harder to find your bloody patches.
No, because the browser is very clever. This author, just browse by author.
Okay, good.
But you have an author field at least, because you know
Yeah.
we are Yamaha, like we are Borg.
Yeah. You are part of the collective.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have an author field. It's just not part of the patch name.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
cool.
But yeah, that is one of Peter Krischker's.
Nice.
One of the things that was nice about this is that they expanded the voicing team quite a bit for this project, and they brought in a lot of very capable people outside of their norms. Not that we don't have capable people in our norms,
Absolutely.
but a lot of first timers and made some really good contributions.
There's some great sound designers around.
Yeah. But I think this M8X has been the first machine that has, large machine, that I've immediately wanted since the Oasis. My God, when was that? 2005?
2000, yeah.
Something like that. And nothing has really, interested me enough to buy. Since.
Were you thinking of getting a Kima at that time?
I don't think so.
I was kind of
Yeah,
looking into it. Yeah.
What I was going to comment, Howie, is like, yeah, there's a lot of great sound designers. The thing that's getting frustrating is that a lot of them are now half my age.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about mate.
I'm younger.
I'm getting used to a lot of that as well.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
You getting the guy coming to the door and he's got his Jupiter 8 that he's just bought off eBay or whatever. And I go, yeah, it's my first synth. And he's like 18. You go, you have no idea, mate.
This is an old story, but it's a classic one. There was back when we were doing the what was it? A long time ago, may have been the AN1, the AN200, and the DX200 desktop modules. They were bringing in a lot of guys who did a lot of music genres that used a lot of groovebox, and one of the guys they brought in thought that clavinet was a DX7 sound.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You can see how it could happen, but it's like
Totally.
wow. Yeah, and you just go, oh God, shall I go and get my walking stick now?
Exactly.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So just don't trip over your Fender bass, right?
Yeah.
Just tell them to get off your lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it won't be long before people think that the Mini Moog was made by Behringer.
Behringer.
You know? And actually, we're probably already there thinking about it.
That reminds me, I got to check to see how Dina's doing on her ARPS for All project.
I've still got to post those matrix panels to her. I'm just waiting for the post to die down. I know that if I sent them, it's 50-50 whether they actually show up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's talk about irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
Do we all know who Dina is? I do. I think we do.
Dina Perlman.
Yeah, everybody here, I think, does.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's quite a close community, really.
I was hanging out with her at Synthplex last year. She's super nice.
She was, yeah. She was
I kept running into her. I almost gave her a ride to the airport because she almost got stuck, not able to get out of there in time.
Let's see how they're doing on their Indiegogo.
Quincas is getting bored with our conversation.
No, I'm creating a background.
He's accompanying it. Yeah, accompaniment.
He's writing one of the 3 tracks he's got to do today.
That's right. What was it? 300 you had to have done? 30 second? 240.
240 30-second songs.
Yeah.
In all possible styles. So I have from cumbias to heavy metal and
Oh, man.
anything in between. It's fun, though. It's a fun challenge to do every day.
Are you doing January as well?
No.
Oh.
You know, it's funny, Andy, is that doing the hardware jams, you know, I hardly ever get close to the 5-minute limit, only because most of the compositions I do are in the context of all the associated demo sequences for the patches, and we are limited to 30, 45 seconds. For everything.
Well, usually this client orders like normal size songs, so I'm used to giving them 2.5 to 4 minute songs depending on the genre and style. So this is kind of new. It's kind of like going back to 10 years ago when I was doing jingles. You know, I wrote a lot of 30-second spots for commercials for TV and radio and stuff. So this kind of feels like that a little bit, except that I'm not composing to a commercial. I'm just writing 30-second songs. It's fun though because like everything becomes much quicker, right? For example, if you're going to adjust the timing on your drums for a 4-minute song, you know, 30 seconds, you've done it in no time at all. Tuning vocals, whatever task you need to do, finish a song becomes much quicker to do on a 30-second track. So it's kind of gratifying. You sit down and an hour and a half later, you're like bouncing down to disc a completed composition. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, my hardware jams often go long because I get carried away and I don't have a stupid timer running all the time. I go, oh, I better stop.
That's different.
I always get sidetracked by the sounds. I start sound designing. As soon as I start composing, I start sound designing.
That's a
And
problem.
never
I have to separate the two things. Otherwise, I don't get any work done. So when I'm doing these songs for a client and I have a deadline, I just use presets from soft synths, guys. I have to admit, you know, because if I decide to patch my modular first, then the day goes and I haven't done a single one of the
That's
three.
what they're there for, mate.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what they're there
like,
for.
Yeah.
Modular is for something else, for me to explore and experiment when I have time.
It's killed the whole day. Just
Yeah, exactly. And it's fun, you know.
I haven't written a song in maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
All sound design.
Each sound you design is a song in itself.
That's right.
Well, I hope it inspires a song. Yeah.
I think the last thing I wrote was
But
that
some of them can actually
that
be
Rolly
like,
video.
I've done
I
music
did.
for a film where a single patch happened to work perfectly for a scene. So like the whole cue is just one note on one
One
pad.
patch. Yeah.
When I first got my Emacs 2 in college, all I did was just screw around with samples. I didn't make any music. I mean, soundscapes at the most. But I was just like, wow, you can do all this and tweak all this, and no computer at all. Just all in the Emacs 2. Just having fun.
Can I have a look and see when I
So
did
one
that
of my
video?
requirements is for music from the that sounds like from the 80s, right?
Mhm.
So I remember that Peter Gabriel song "Sledgehammer." It's got a kind of a shakuhachi sound.
Mm-hmm. The emulator too.
Right? So I did a song with
Famous
that,
one,
and automatically you hear
Emulator.
it. What's
That
up? What
poor
else
guy
is-
never got paid for that.
Whenever you hear that sound, you're like 80s.
That's a magic sound. That is
I have a friend who can play a proper shakuhachi, and I keep on trying to wrangle him to do a little mini sample library of my own, because he can play all those. If you ever study shakuhachi stuff, it's so subtle.
Unbelievable, yeah.
It's like karate. There's
Now
like so
that
many
sample,
different
though,
things.
we were talking about the Stravinsky. That's another emblematic sample. From what machine was it? Was it a Fairlight as well?
the David Warhouse sample.
Do you guys remember which machine had that shakuhachi sample?
That was an emulator, wasn't it?
Oh, emulator. Yeah.
Emulator,
That was
right?
emulator,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just trying to remember which one it was, because I used the Arturia version.
I mean, it
all
ended
of
up on
those.
the Fairlight, right? Didn't Gabriel use it on the Fairlight?
Who knows?
I think Peter Gabriel had everything.
I think it's the
Emulator.
emulator, because I think that's what I used.
The one for Sledgehammer, isn't it the one from the Fairlight?
No, I'm pretty sure it's an emulator one, but I could be wrong.
But I mean, move to the Fairlight.
Oh,
Possibly.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody sampled it for the Fairlight, I guess, from the emulator, perhaps.
Because all the Emacs stuff I have is E2 stuff translated over, and it's a lot of the same sounds.
So if somebody makes a joke, I'll do this.
Yeah, but it's not cheesy enough. There has to be really bad rompler bass.
Yeah.
I read an article where the composer who wrote that said common misconception is that it was a sampled bass line, but he actually played that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Wasn't he Michael Wolff or something?
That's what
like
I read.
that?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I always thought it was a 360 Systems MIDI bass, but
It
apparently
did sound like a MIDI bass, but I don't know.
But
It sounded really cheesy, so it's like,
Yeah.
I thought it was a rompler.
Another of the 80s songs I used the DX7 piano sound, my fretless bass with chorus.
there you go.
And I used the Swam instrument soprano sax with the instrument to do the Kenny G impression. Oh my God! I named the song G Spot. I wish I could show it to you. It couldn't sound more 80s adult contemporary.
There was some good sounds in the 80s. I loved that bass, the DX7 bass from "Take My Breath Away," and
Oh yeah, that's a great sound.
and that was Marvin. What's
Bow,
that
bow,
song?
bow, bow.
Yeah. The Night Shift. It was the same bass, wasn't it?
I'm not familiar with that one.
The song "Night Shift" by
Is it
Commodores?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Commodores.
Could be. I'm not too familiar with that song.
It's all about Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye's bass was James Jamerson. All the
No,
way.
I don't mean the Marvin Gaye. I mean
The song's
song
about Marvin Gaye.
about him. Yeah.
All right. That's where the guitarist says, "Hey, get off my lawn."
Okay, play Girl from Ipanema.
How did
Play
it go?
Teen Town. Teen Town.
Ooh. Mm.
There you go.
Something like
One
that.
note, you got one note wrong there. The last note was wrong.
But there's a corny musician joke that maybe you guys will get. Have you ever seen a trombone player play the one note samba?
I don't think so.
It's like this. And it goes to the bridge.
Without moving at all.
Right. The single position
Is
all
that
over
is
the
all that
notes.
possible? Is that possible?
It's not really because it's partials of the harmonic, right? That's
Right.
what you
Yeah.
can do in one position.
I
So it
can't
would have
do
to be like one of those. Yeah,
harmonic series. Yeah.
That's the harmonic series, yeah.
Yeah, but
That's the joke.
the same pitch moving the slider you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Charlie Chaplin when he was making a cocktail. He had the shaker. The shaker was absolutely still, and his shoulders and everything else was moving.
Yeah. Fucking genius. That's a little Hermeto Pascual I'm trying to learn. You guys know Hermeto Pascual?
I know the name. But
Heard the
I-
name, but
Brazilian
don't know.
magician of music, man. He's incredible. He can. In the 80s, he was doing what like a lot of TikTokers are doing now, where they like try to follow along somebody's speech with their instrument, you know. And he would just in a live interview, the interviewee would ask him something, and he would go to the piano, which is a tempered instrument, and he would manage to mimic exactly what the person had just said on a piano.
Yeah.
He has a book he wrote with 365 compositions that he wrote, one a day.
Have you guys seen that YouTube video of them using a player piano to do speech synthesis?
Yeah, amazing.
Wow, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that.
Yeah, so basically they voice the notes on the keyboard to generate the format timbres for the speech.
That's incredible. And is it intelligible? Can you like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yes. Well, once you're primed.
yeah, once you're primed, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive.
Cool.
I was at the Getty Museum many years ago, and there was a live demo. They had an authentic old school player piano, and people writing new parts for it, making new rolls, and demoing the music for the public. And it was funny. People are still making new player piano rolls.
It
was wild.
It's kind of one of those niche hobbies, right?
Yeah, and it was good too. A lot of stuff was really good. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
With AI, you should be able to analyze some, old concert footage and turn it into new player piano rolls. Yeah, surely.
I actually bought a thing many years ago. I keep forgetting to use it, but it's build your own music box, wheelie bump things.
And you
make
stick
your
pins
own
in
stuff.
yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
you make your own parts, and I need to do that. So
I have one of those music boxes that you punch holes into a paper.
yeah,
I've
that's
used
the
it.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've used it for work because I needed to create music with a music box. And I was like, how do I do that? And then I saw this at a novelty store, and I was like, perfect.
Yeah, they had
But
it on
then-
Think Geek a long time ago. It was fun.
So I wrote a melody, and I actually punched the holes to perform that melody on the thing. But then it was so clunky that what I ended up doing was programming a chromatic scale on it and sampling it.
Oh, there you go.
And then once I sampled the chromatic scale, I could play around with whatever, and I could clean
That's
it up a little more too. But it was a fun concept, fun
It's
idea.
a clever idea. Yeah, it's
Cool.
Well, in mainland Europe, we're getting up to midnight, the witching hour.
Oh.
It's near 5:00 in the afternoon in Mexico City.
Aren't you supposed to do 3 pips after that?
Yeah, but there's 2 minutes to go yet.
That's nice.
I've been trying to learn this Bach piece piece from Sleepers Awake. A lovely melody. Brilliant.
I was just playing the suite Prelude in G from the cello suite.
Yeah, I know. And I hate the Yo-Yo Ma version. I hate it. I can't stand his rubato. I just can't stand it.
I actually started trying to learn it on the instrument. I had this high hope of doing like a proper fine cello performance of the Prelude in G with the instrument using the Swam Instruments cello.
Mm-hmm.
But after like 10 days, it was going to be as much work as playing it on a real cello to get it to sound.
Yeah. You could have learned the cello in the meantime.
By that time.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, I can do it already on the 6-string bass, so to call that. It was my audition piece for music schools back in the day.
I remember listening to the studio wall to Martin, the cellist, playing Teen Town on his cello.
Oh, nice.
It was amazing.
Like the opposite of what I just did.
Yeah.
The version I learned was first recorded by John Patitucci on a Ken Smith 6-string in the 90s. I heard that, I went crazy and learned it by ear listening to his recording.
I was thinking about the kids who used to spend hours perfecting Guitar Hero instead of just playing guitar.
But you know what, though? There's a group of girls here in Mexico called The Warning. They're a rock band. There are 3 sisters who started playing rock band in their living room.
Rock band's different, though, because it's not just the 4 buttons, right?
Right, okay.
Guitar Hero just has those 4 buttons you're mashing.
Oh, all right. Well, they were playing rock band, and you know what? Go look at their videos, man. They're opening for Guns N' Roses and shit. They're touring the world. They're a huge heavy metal.
What are they called again?
They're called The Warning.
The Warning.
Girls, the bass player, the youngest, she's 18. They're super young. The oldest sister sings and plays guitar, and there's a recording of them when they were really little playing Enter Sandman on YouTube like 10 years ago.
I think I might have seen that video.
Yeah, and they became famous and continued developing and studying. You know, the bass player chick, I saw a video of her like at 16 playing Teen Town. And
did it make you feel jealous?
Yeah.
The keyboard from Rock Band was a proper MIDI controller. You could actually hook it up.
Yeah, exactly. So the drummer learned drums on that thing at first, and she's amazing too. The drummer is incredible. I'm really impressed with this band.
Talking of amazing young drummers and keyboard players. If you
Instagram, you go to Instagram nowadays, like talent galore, man. There's people doing crazy things.
I mean, Domi and JD Beck.
Oh yeah, JD Beck. Oh, they're the best.
JD Beck is really good. I don't really care for Domi's melodies, but she's technically brilliant.
Technically brilliant, and she's a great bass player. Her
left-hand bass.
Oh my God, she's probably the best left-hand bassist I've ever seen on the keyboard.
There's a great South Park episode where the kids are doing Guitar Hero, and the dad can really play proper guitar, and he's trying to teach them like Kansas songs and stuff. You guys got to play real guitar. And then he gets jealous and he starts getting into Guitar Hero and not playing real guitar anymore. So
the inverted scenario.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, I'm going to take my leave. It's after midnight.
Have a good night, Howie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. See you later, Hal. Take care, mate.
Happy New Year.
I can get my mouse over from this screen.
I'm probably going to say goodbye as well, because I have little girls that are probably wanting to see their dad a little bit on this beautiful Saturday. So it was great hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. See you at NAMM.
Take care, mate.
See you at NAMM.
Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Ta-da.
Well, wow, you hit the 3-hour mark here, Henrik.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, a little above. But usually I stop after 2 hours, but not today. But perhaps it's time. Perhaps it's time to pass the glove, or what you call it, to
there you go,
to the pub.
The pub.
Oh God, no! I'm going to bed.
You're going to bed now.
I'm done, man. I tell you, I'm done. Absolutely fried.
Yeah, you've pubbed a lot this week.
I have, haven't I? Stayed up until stupid o'clock. Get up at stupid
Yeah, I
o'clock in
heard
the
you
morning.
I heard you said I stole.
No, I'm
time for
just
that.
kidding. Don't worry about that. I'm just kidding with you, buddy.
Because any time is pub time.
You can't steal
Yeah,
something I
yeah.
don't own.
I might fire up a mini one later while I'm doing some cleanup, so keep your eyes open for that.
Mm.
I gotta actually do some work.
Yeah, because unfortunately, it doesn't matter what time I stay up until, I'm still woken up at 9:15 by Siri, looking for her sausage. Noah looking for his tablet and his sausage. Well, he doesn't know he's getting a tablet. He thinks he's getting a sausage.
Yeah.
So and they are like clockwork, and they don't give a crap what time I went to bed.
Not even after they finished all the after eights, huh?
Oh, that chocolate orange.
It's like kids at Christmas, right? They get
Yeah.
up early and wake you up, and
Yeah, it's weird, you know. I don't know why, but we just left this chocolate. I think we only had about 2 pieces out of it. Come down in the morning, and even the silver foil had been chewed.
Oy.
Noah left nothing, nothing at all. So he's on a diet now. He's not enjoying that, but there you go. He's asleep down here on a cushion.
But then let's end it for this year.
Yeah.
Well, at least my stream for this year.
yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Have
Yeah,
a
Happy New
safe
Year to
New
you all.
Year's
If you
Eve.
make a pop tomorrow, I probably won't make it.
Well, Jamie's got a show tomorrow, hasn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, he's got one starting. Is it 6 or something like that? Which is an open evening apparently. So, so it's sort of like another kind of pub type show.
There you go. Cool. Fun
Well,
hang.
thanks for being here, and everybody have a
Thanks for having us, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
usual.
love it.
Good stuff.
So have a happy New Year, all of you, and see you next year.
See you next year.
Take care.
Yeah,
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.